Right, so welcome to the Christmas special of FredArthurPod Season 1. We've had a good 6 episodes of the season so far, given we started late on in the year. As you'll notice, we're in a slightly different background here. That's because we're actually filming it at my house. So we finished up our Season 1 studio, and next season, Season 2, we're actually going to be filming in a personal podcast studio that we're going to have in the house I'm moving into. We're going to have a nice new background for Season 2. But we thought before the year finished and we finished the season, we thought we'd finish off with a nice with some Christmas spirits.
Cheers to that.
Special. So because we're having a nice drink, we're going to start off with a lot of the standard. We know a lot of you guys enjoy the kind of, interesting facts and stories from around the world. So we're going to start off with that kind of stuff with, some weird Christmas traditions, the origins of popular Christmas traditions, and a few Christmas crime stories. And hopefully, I'm assuming by then it will be a few drinks down. We'll be in some Merry Christmas spirits. And then we're going to move on to speaking about, maybe a bit of debate, conversation about our favourite Christmas dinner items, movies, Christmas movies we like and hate, Christmas songs we like and hate. Talk about Christmas gifts. There are some really interesting stories about some Christmas gifts that people have gotten that we found on the internet, and then speak about our own personal Christmas experiences and Christmas memories. And then we're going to finish on a nice little Christmas quiz. There's only Freddie here. Actually, Chris was supposed to be here, but he unfortunately went on a last-minute holiday. So Freddie's going to do a one-man quiz.
Yeah, so I haven't actually seen the quiz questions, but I'm hoping they're not too difficult and they should spark some discussion about some other Christmas themes. So we're excited for that.
And yeah, you guys can obviously get involved at home. So I'll ask all the questions. Actually, I'm guessing we'll do question and then answer one by one. It's probably a bit easier.
I mean, I don't know the format. So is it going to be? Is it like ambiguous answers? Or
No, set answers. There's sort of like actual answers to all the questions. So maybe I'll just ask them. You guys at home can figure out if you know the answer. Fred, you can as well, and then you can give your guess, and I'll let you know the answer. To start off, we're going for Christmas traditions, and I believe you've got some interesting Christmas traditions around the world. I think we've actually, just before we start, I don't know if you've seen, but we've actually got a data map from where all our listeners are from, and you guys are worldwide. Like, there are a lot of, we're not chart toppers, so we haven't got crazy numbers, so yeah, we appreciate every single one of you, but we can see dots across on a world map of where you guys are from. And we've got literally listeners in loads of countries.
Really? What's the furthest that you saw?
Oh, literally direct other side of the world. There's Japan, China, India,
Australia.
Australia. There's actually Australia and New Zealand are two of the biggest. I think they're third and fourth biggest countries. Yeah. And I think because we're weirdly quite popular in Denmark, and we're in something like the top 80 podcasts in Denmark.
Oh yeah, because Spotify Wrapped came out recently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't imagine that we're in many people's like sort of top 5, but the plan is next year to get in a regular format where we're doing these kind of every week, and then hopefully, in Denmark we'll be number 1. Yeah,
exactly. So shout out all our Danish friends and all our international friends. Do you want to start us? I mean, you guys will know some of these if you're from these countries, but
yeah. So
do you want to start us off?
So we're starting off with actually Japan. So I was doing a bit of research, and obviously it's quite an English tradition to have a Christmas dinner, like our usual Christmas dinner where we have the turkey, all the Yorkshire pudding, all of that kind of stuff.
The best meal of the year.
And it's literally the one time where you can just have unlimited pigs and blankets. Like it is so good.
Yeah.
But I was actually chatting to my cousin who's over from Australia at the moment, and he finds it weird. So this is his first Christmas in the UK. And because obviously the heat over there, they have like, it's quite common to have like fish or like barbecue kind of meats and things like that.
Oh, no way.
So it is obviously kind of predominantly a UK tradition to have the like main Christmas meal that we'd have traditionally every year.
Okay.
So the first country is actually Japan. And their traditional Christmas dinner is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What?
Yeah, so it's essentially... It's obviously stemmed from the US originally, and apparently KFC Japan pulled in.
Oh, so it's actual official KFC?
Oh yeah, yes. Well, no. So it is like it's popular to buy the Kentucky Fried Chicken from KFC as well.
Oh, I see.
So however you source it.
It's just general that fried chicken.
Yeah.
Wow.
However you source it, but the margins that KFC Japan pulled in apparently in 2018, between December 20th to the 25th, was roughly $63 million US. So this is like their most popular time of year because that's their nation's tradition at Christmas, supposedly.
I actually really rate that. You know what I really don't like about Christmas dinners? You ever been to a friend's house and they do a Christmas dinner and it's like they make you a turkey and it's just very dry?
Yeah.
The fact that we do turkey, I mean, I don't understand why we do turkey. It's such
to be fair, it's so hard to get right, isn't it?
Do you like Christmas turkey? I don't even enjoy it that much.
It's not something I'd eat on a regular basis, but I don't think it could be something that you just eat day to day anyway.
If someone was like, you can swap the Christmas dinner, so you can have all the potatoes, the roasted peas and carrots and pigs and blankets and crispy, fluffy fat potatoes, but swap a dry turkey.
No, but it doesn't have to be dry. It doesn't have to be dry.
It'd be so nice.
I like it, to be honest. I'm a big fan. But
if there's a good gravy, to be fair,
you literally just slather that gravy on top, then it's fine. But yeah, apparently on Christmas Day they sell 10 times than a normal day for fried chicken. So it's
even on
pretty
Christmas
unusual.
Day they're checking into KFC.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So when do they actually buy their fried chicken from KFC? Because that's like ready to eat there and then.
I guess it's fast food, so maybe they just go, I'm going to nip next door and grab the KFC from next door.
It's quite normal in the UK where most of the stores on Christmas Day they'll be shut.
Yeah.
So maybe
maybe
it's
they
just
got
normal
work.
to be open.
Yeah.
And then the next one is actually Norway, so not far from our highest listeners, or like most popular country in terms of our own listeners. And they believe that witches and evil spirits are more apparent around the Christmas time of year. So what they traditionally do is that the Norwegians, they hide their brooms. So any sort of broom that you have in your household, you basically, you store it away, you don't put it in the open space, and this is supposedly to ward off any witches or potential like negative energy coming in.
Wow, what do they think that the witches are going to rock up and steal their brooms and fly away with them?
Yeah, apparently. So I mean,
with these kind of traditions, I'm always really interested. Like, to what extent do they believe it? When we say they believe this, you know, for example, if in Denmark they were going, in England they believe that Santa Claus come down your chimney. It's something, it's kind of a bit of a fairy tale that kids believe. I hope there are no kids watching.
Oh, yes.
We all believe.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is one where like a lot of the population genuinely feel, and you can tell us if you're from Denmark, that witches are going to come steal their broomsticks.
Yeah,
or whether it's just that like a little old wives' tale that their kids believe, or maybe like the adults do it without necessarily believing.
Well, it's like what you said. If you believe in Santa, and if you've got like young siblings, then you would typically put out food for Santa reindeers. And we know that, potentially they might not be eating it. But if you were going to research it, then you would be like, that's a tradition that everyone does. You put carrots to the reindeers. So maybe it is something like that. And apparently, they have like a concern that the witches are going to come to your home, steal your brooms, and then ride around the night.
Wow.
So I don't know how true that is. I mean, someone could hopefully fact check that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then just moving on to a few other ones. So Ukraine, supposedly, like one of their like most apparent Christmas decorations are spider webs. So instead of like fairy lights having dotted around the household, around your flat, they just have loads of spider webs, which I think is quite creepy.
That is weird.
Yeah, it's more like Halloween.
That's Halloweeny. Yeah. That's very Halloweeny for us.
Yeah, and then
is there a reason?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think the thing is, it's difficult with traditions. It's like, even if you don't truly believe, like I'm sure they don't believe that a witch is going to come steal their broom, but if it's so ingrained in your country and tradition, then it's just something that I guess naturally you just do anyway. So I'm not sure where it originally stems from, but that's their supposed most popular sort of decoration around Christmas.
Interesting.
This one, again, I guess, aligned with our previous discussion where we don't actually know how true it is. But supposedly in Czech Republic, on Christmas Eve, only unmarried Czech women stand with their back to the door and toss one of their shoes over their shoulder. If it lands with the toe facing the door, it means that they'll be married within a year.
Wow.
So I guess... Yeah,
that's quite a fun tradition. It's sort of like it doesn't really, carry any weight of expectation, but it's something that everyone can kind of get involved with and be like, I feel like if someone's been in like a 5-year relationship, they'll all be nudging the guy like,
that's what I
today's
mean.
your year.
But that's what what was that accent? That's what I mean. That's what I mean, though. Imagine you have a load of friends around for Christmas or around that time, and then your girlfriend stands up and she just lobs her shoe over the shoulder. You're thinking it's too early in our relationship, but she's ready. So I guess that's the sign. Without actually officially communicating to you, she can just like allude to the fact that she wants to get married.
But we have that kind of thing with bridesmaids, don't they?
That's what I was
she does
say.
the what's it called, the tossing of the bouquet.
Yeah.
And if you catch them, there are so many videos on the internet. They're so funny where like one of the bridesmaids catches it and it pans to the like one of the like what are they called, groomsmen? Yeah. Just like going like, oh, for goodness sakes, like I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, why is it? It's always the girl that's like super gassed or wants it to happen, whereas the guy's more reluctant.
I wonder if it's sort of like probably a bit of like social programming type thing where sort of like girls are brought up to love weddings. Like I've got 6 sisters.
Love the spectacle.
And they all grew up like, and I don't know how much of it is natural, how much of it is sort of like environment and social, but they all grew up going like, oh, I'm going to have the prettiest wedding dress and I'm going to get married in a castle. Like, I feel like especially like little girls' stories like Cinderella and all that kind of stuff.
They plan it so early on.
They plan it so early. Like, I think, if I've kind of had this with like girls I've dated in the past where I've like asked them and they always say like, I've known what my wedding is going to be like since I was like 8 years old. Like they started figuring out what they want their dress to look like, whether they want it in the mountains or on a beach or in a church or a chapel or something like that. Whereas guys, I've never really thought about it.
Or maybe guys do, but they can't openly talk about it. Maybe a lot of guys want to get, but then I guess because also it's the guy that proposes to the woman in most cases, so that it is kind of dictated by the guy's decision. Whereas if it was the female, then she would probably be more searching for the right time rather than just being like, I want it to happen. Yeah,
this is quite heteronormative still, like going like assuming it's guy and girl, but I mean obviously as straight guys. But still, I mean, I definitely, probably in a similar way, I've always thought when I propose, I kind of have a rough idea of how I want to propose. Like, I hate the kind of like, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to anyone who's done it, but like the people that kind of like get like propose in front of big crowds. Kind of like, like sporting events in the middle of a mall. Like, I feel like there's no like special thing. And also there's so much pressure. Like the girls can't say no. It's not like you're like on a romantic holiday. Like, you're on a where you went on your first ever holiday together and you sort of propose and there's like, something in the sky and candles and all that. Like, you probably don't know him, Elliot Hackney. He's quite big on like the football scene. He had the most romantic proposal ever. He showed us a video and it's like he was in Rome next to the Colosseum, had someone playing music, rose petals everywhere, candles, like super romantic. Like I feel like I'd want to do something that felt like really like wow, special. Like I don't really get the kind of people that kind of go, actually they're like walking down the street and they just go, I'm ready, and they just pop it open in the mall.
Yeah, I mean, I think most girls will probably, if you're in that sort of environment where it's public and everyone could see, they'd have to say yes, and then if they weren't feeling it, just say something afterwards. Because it actually happened to, not me personally.
No, sound like you're going to say me.
But when I went out for New Year's Eve last year, we went out to this like club, whatever, and it was quite posh looking, was quite swanky and nice. But in the outdoor bit, it was in central London. And there was someone that proposed literally there and then, and everyone's getting around like clapping. So
they said yes.
Well, you can't say no to that. That's what I'm saying. So I don't even think, even if you don't want to say yes, you have to say yes.
That's probably why those no's are such hilarious viral videos because they're quite rare. Where the guy just goes like, "No, like I'm not ready," or "I'm not. I don't want to date you."
There's a couple more that I want to go through as well. So the next one is actually in Austria, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names, but many towns in Austria, especially the Alpine villages around Salzburg and Tyrol.
Oh, I didn't know you spoke German.
That sounded French. Celebrate Krampusnacht on December 5th and dozen men dressed as Krampus. I actually don't know what Krampus is.
I think, I'm sure, this might come up later because I think I've read it already. I think Krampus is a horned man, kind of like a devil, who punishes children for being badly behaved. So, in the UK, I wonder if Austrians know this, if we're badly behaved as kids, you get coal in your sack of presents instead of presents. They've got a guy called Krampus, I think, who runs around and punishes kids. I don't know what punishment means.
Also, it's like the equivalent of the naughty list in Austria, where
bad kids. So rather than getting coal, you get punished.
Sent to Krampus.
Krampus comes to get you, I think, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
That's probably more of an incentive to to behave well than getting coal.
Well, but this is obviously more apparent in Austria, so that people actually dress as Krampus. So we don't necessarily see the devil or anyone like physically see the naughty list or what would potentially happen. You just say, I could get coal for Christmas. Whereas they have actually men dressed as Krampus parading down. And they're terrorising children. So yeah, you're right.
Parading down what, like streets?
Just the streets, yeah. So they're parading.
So there are a bunch of men that dress up like the devil and just
what's their
smack
motive?
Children with sticks.
What is their incentive there to do that? Are they getting paid to do this? I don't know.
Just festival sounds quite fun.
But yeah, I guess it adds the vibe of Christmas.
That's so weird.
But I mean, I guess it's one day of the year, so it's not even Christmas. It's December 5th, earlier before Christmas.
Oh, that's St. Nicholas Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's probably why.
They've probably maybe they're intertwined, maybe it's just random.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, you're right. So they're terrorising children down the streets with these sticks.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing then. And then the last one that I wanted to go through was Sweden. So
got quite a lot of Scandinavian country. Okay, go on.
Maybe they have like a lot of unique traditions, whereas other countries don't, or just something interesting we can talk about. So the Yule goat has been a Swedish Christmas symbol dating back to ancient pagan festivals. Pagan festivals. Then in 1966, I'm sorry, I was still speaking German. I was still in the German.
Pagan. Pagan.
Pagan.
That's Spanish for they will pay or something. They pay. Anyway.
Yeah. It was decided that there would be a new Swedish Christmas tradition, a giant straw goat.
Wow.
Now known as the Gaval goat.
Wow.
Yeah. And every year the 42-foot tall straw goat is...
42 foot tall? My word. That's 10 humans. Well, 7 or 8 humans tall.
That's a lot of humans, yeah.
That's crazy.
A lot of you as well.
Come on.
The first day of Advent in the centre of Gaval Castle Square. So, however, it's not so much putting up as the tearing down that's become a local tradition. It's the 50-year history. The goat has frequently been a target for vandals and has only survived through the New Year period about 12 times.
Wow.
So people just go mad at this goat. So yeah, that was it. So I think the next kind of stage after talking about the traditions and a lot of the Scandinavian countries became quite apparent in that, we're going to go into Christmas crimes. So.
Yeah. I mean, before we do, do you have any Christmas traditions yourself? Like,
yeah, so...
What do you do on Christmas? Like, because we're both from Jersey, right? But I feel like Jersey, we don't have any Christmas traditions that aren't standard English or at least British custom traditions. Like, what do you do on Christmas?
So I'm actually normally away for Christmas.
Are you?
Yeah, which is
like skiing?
No, not skiing. It is quite rare. Like most people, I feel like love to come back home, just something they're familiar with family, etc. But I used to go. This is the first year actually I'm in Jersey, but for the past decade, I'd always go to France.
Oh wow!
So my grandparents used to live there, and it just used to be just so idyllic.
Yeah.
Because it used to snow quite a bit. You get White Christmas. Obviously there's so much more land in France compared to Jersey, and so it would just be like a total break. And that's kind of my main Christmas memories of always kind of being away from home.
But do you do anything like Christmassy related? Like for me, for example, so I've got a bunch of young siblings. I've got 4 sisters who are aged 5 to 12 or 13.
That's lucky.
So they all believe in Santa. Maybe the older ones possibly don't. But over the last few years, they've believed in Santa. So when you kind of hit the period where, because I hit the period where I stopped believing in Santa before they were born. It's strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
Drinking straight 40% spirit. So I stopped believing in Santa and then had Christmas, and it kind of lost its magic a little bit. And then my younger sisters were born, and now it's really magic.
Yeah.
They'll wake us up at 7 a.m. Santa's been. We leave a mince pie and a carrot out, and they wake up and they're like, oh my goodness, the mince pie's had a bite taken out of it, the carrot's had a bite out of it. That means he must have taken it to the reindeer. I thought it was quite funny actually. I'm hoping they're not going to be watching this episode, but my dad was like, You know what? I think we should leave a cold can of beer out for Santa rather than a glass of milk. So my dad could have a beer rather than having to just chop through half a pint of milk.
Yeah, we always used to do that. Yeah, the milk. Like, who wants that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, horrible.
Can you imagine? I think there's that 6-pint challenge that used to be viral on the internet. Have you ever seen that? Where you can only
just instantly chunder.
Yeah.
That's
so
mad.
freaking poor Santa just having to chow down on just
endless
thousands
milk.
of gallons of milk.
Luckily, the young kids probably haven't seen that challenge. Otherwise, they'd be a bit more.
Well, he's
skeptical.
magic, isn't he?
That's
Santa,
true.
like,
That's true.
But yeah, so that's quite a traditional family thing for me. And then we just have a traditional like British Christmas dinner, which we'll come on to because there's quite a lot of cultural like significance in terms of like dinners and what people eat.
But I mean, we do the same. Like, because I'm lucky as well. I've got a younger brother who obviously is old enough now, but we wouldn't necessarily do the older traditions. But for years, we would also do the same, where we'd leave out the mince pies, the milk, all of that. And it's so nice being in a household with younger people around Christmas, for sure. Makes it special. I mean, do you remember when you were younger, like, did you, because I always used to really struggle to sleep.
You'd
be
so excited.
So excited.
Yeah.
It was like the best day of the year.
Yeah.
Did you have the same?
Yeah, I definitely had the exact same thing. Sort of like, there's just such an insane excitement that the next day you're going to wake up to presents, like, and that Santa's coming. It's all so magical and like so it's in a different realm to the rest of the year. Like in British culture, I feel like there's no other part of the year where kids especially, or anyone generally, expect something supernatural to happen. So we're very like, we're not particularly as religious as a lot of other countries are. And so, I mean, you might have Jesus and God in your life, but like Jesus doesn't ever come into your house and eat your own mince pies or anything like that.
Yeah, it's intrusive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he comes down your chimney,
and you're just meant to be fine with that.
And you're supposed to be asleep, and he's sort of like rummaging around, giving you presents. He knows knows how well you've behaved.
Yeah.
There's that apprehension about, am I getting presents or coal? Did you ever get coal? Did you wake up to a sack of coal?
Did you?
No, and I'm so curious if anyone has. Because can you imagine all your siblings will wake up with a sack of presents?
Would you do that for your kids?
Never, unless they were rotten. If they probably committed,
if they needed to be taught,
if they committed any of the crimes that we're going to talk about, the true crimes, probably. But nah.
Yeah, I mean, it was for me. It was just that magic moment of like, you wake up in the morning and just the stockings by your bed full of presents. Like
yours was by your bed.
Yeah.
See, mine wasn't. Mine was downstairs. So
literally.
Santa came
like
inches away from you.
He was close. He was close to me.
He was standing at the foot of your bed,
and I was totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I was just so excited. I used to and then even on Christmas Day, I try and delay opening my presents because it's the worst feeling.
In there.
It's the worst feeling when you've just like literally within an hour of waking up, you've like unwrapped everything and then.
Yeah, see, that's the other good thing is because I'm one of 9 siblings. My dad doesn't want it to all be open and him not see them all be opened.
Yeah.
So he'll make us go around one by one opening them.
Yeah, okay.
And we've got
that takes hours.
We've got different anxiety levels in the siblings. So like some of us are like, yeah, everyone look at me open the presents. And some of us are like, look away.
That's so funny.
Stop focusing on me. Stop focusing on you.
I mean, how do you feel about the attention being on you when you open a present? Because
I'm a bit in the middle.
Sometimes you can obviously not like the gift and you have to pretend.
Oh, I mean, we're going to get to this later, but I, as a kid, was awful at I knew exactly what I wanted.
Oh, really?
And if I didn't get exactly what I wanted, I would be devastated.
That reminds me of something. I remember when, like, when Yu-Gi-Oh was popular.
Yeah. Wait, is this about you getting a present?
Yeah.
We're coming back to it later.
We'll go back to it later.
So keep that on your head.
It's literally just... Oh, my God. But it's about asking for something so specific that it's literally not possible.
Yeah.
And so being disappointed.
Because you can never... Okay, we'll get onto that because I think that is going to be interesting. But I feel like that'll be even funnier when we're a few... I mean, this is burning my gullet on the way down. But
this apple juice is...
How nice.
Yeah,
strong and... So before we get into... So there's a lot of positive, and on YouTube we'll chapter this up. So if you want to basically skip or miss out some of the more macabre topics, there's just this one because I know a lot of you guys, when we spoke about it in the first episode, and we mentioned what we were going to be doing on the podcast, guests, all this kind of stuff. When we mentioned true crime, there were a lot of comments and a lot of DMs being like, I would love for you guys to cover some true crime cases. So I thought we'd slip in some interesting Christmas crime stories here. So, probably coming on to, again, we're going to come back to this topic, but not liking a gift enough. So, a 37-year-old Melissa Young was arrested for the brutal murder of her next-door neighbour, Aline Williamson, on Christmas Day in 2013. She basically said that she suffered rage due to Williamson dismissively rejecting her Christmas present of a pair of unisex trainers and a copy of the Sun newspaper's slightly raunchy 2014 calendar. So it wasn't even like I didn't like the present. The neighbour said no. Like she said, no, I'm not taking that. I don't want it because it's not a good enough present. And he murdered her.
Wow.
Wait, she murdered him, sorry. She later claimed diminished responsibility and said that mental health issues were behind the sustained attack. But eventually, Melissa pled guilty to culpable homicide in 2014 and was sentenced to a minimum of 20 years sentence.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like there and then where she gave him the gift, her neighbour.
Yeah.
And he saw it and then he
went,
was
no.
disappointed and then she went, right, grab the knife or whatever.
Yeah.
Whether it was that kind of savage
Yeah, I'd
or
love
whether
to know more details.
she was disappointed by the reaction and then started plotting.
Well, what was it? Cold War, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whether it was in the moment. And,
yeah.
and those also, obviously, there's nothing he could have said that could have justified his life being taken. But I wonder if he was like, oh, like, no thanks, I don't want the trainers, keep them. Or whether he was like, you absolute freak, you idiot, take them back. Like, what do you think you're doing? I think she's obviously the psychopath. So he probably was just in a provocative way,
lightly disappointed with the gift, as people are.
Yeah.
And she wasn't happy how well it was received, and so then afterwards, that's what I'm guessing, she was then plotting something. You can't be that insane to then just one reaction then be like... I think
it's sweet in the first place to... I mean, I don't know why he said no. It's very sweet of her in the first place not to kind of like give her too much credit, but to give your neighbour a present. I mean, I haven't given my neighbours presents in years.
I don't even give my family presents.
We've got a sweet family that we're really good friends with now that we're giving Christmas. We sort of give them a card and give them gifts, yeah. But that's only because... sort of like we've become really good friends with them, and it's actually through like an app. We basically, me and my housemate just decided to like, we wanted to get a dog for the apartment, but sort of thought, we're too busy to have a dog, so we walk other people's dogs.
Yeah.
And we started walking their dogs, and then they'd invite us in for a drink, and then we'd have dinner, and we had a Christmas party, and like we've become really good friends with them. But other than that, the idea of giving your neighbour a present, well, maybe it's just because we're in London, maybe in like sort of more quiet community places. Definitely. It's more likely, but... If
you're just in a village and there's only like a few houses around you, maybe...
Jersey,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you give your...
In Jersey, where I grew up, yeah, I think we probably...
I think
we would have slipped them a Christmas card, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so there's another one, not quite as, this doesn't involve quite such an extreme outcome as death. But have you heard of the Berlin spiking Santa in 2011? So this guy, they assume to be a guy... basically was going around a Christmas market, and basically the visitors of this Christmas market all fell ill after accepting free wine and other drinks, free mulled wine, I should say, from this strange man. So they all started feeling nauseous, vomiting. Some lost consciousness and even went to the hospital. And police later discovered that the drinks had been spiked with a mixture of Rohypnol, which is the date grape drug, and ecstasy.
Wow.
So this guy was dropping Rohypnol and ecstasy in mulled wine drinks and just handing them out, but he was never found. The only sort of lead they had to go on was that he was dressed like Santa Claus.
That's even weirder.
How strange is that? I would never accept a drink from a stranger.
I'm wondering though how he's getting kicks out of that. I'm presuming that's why he's doing it, because if he doesn't, would he know who's
is he watching them? I wonder
all?
if he stalks them and watches them fall over, or whether he just loves the idea of it.
Yeah,
you've got to be pretty unhinged. There's definitely something dark going on inside that poor guy's brains. But that's actually it. Just those two sort of like, there were quite a lot, and I was like, some of them were like that I was finding, and it was literally like guy goes on a rampage and ends his whole family, and I was like, this is just too dark. But yeah, be careful of the drinks and stuff you accept on Christmas.
That's true.
A lot of people giving out gifts with good intentions, but if you're ingesting anything in particular, be wary. So next up is origins of popular Christmas traditions. I think we go one by one for these because there are a lot of Christmas traditions. I'm looking at the first one, for example, Christmas lights. Like, where does that come from? How do you go from Jesus being born to putting up lights everywhere?
I guess it's quite a positive symbol. Like, it's almost, you
stars
see
in the sky.
stars
maybe.
in the sky. Yeah, I think, and also like it kind of brings the Christmas tree to life as well. The moment you put the lights on, turn it on, then you automatically feel way more Christmassy. So I think,
Yeah.
I guess it's just it's just a nice tradition, and it is typically quite dark at Christmas, especially where we are.
Yeah.
In the midst of winter, like it's just quite a nice thing to do.
So apparently it initially stems from Christ being seen as the world's light. So in the olden days, they'd light loads of candles to be like, it's Christmas time. Obviously, it's quite dark. If you're in church or at home, lots of candles would be lit. And then when electricity came along and light bulbs came along, people were like, oh, I want the same kind of light, but without having to light 1,000 candles in the church. And so that's where it essentially comes from, apparently. Quite a simple one.
Yeah.
So Christmas tree. Do you want to do Christmas tree? Because this one I find this is the one where this is the one I've thought about before.
Really?
Like Christmas lights, I've never really pondered myself, but Christmas tree, I always think like, why do we chop down a fir tree or whatever, as a spruce tree or whatever you decide to have, stick it in your lounge and decorate it?
The concept, when you think of it objectively, is strange.
Like I like it. I like having a plant in the house and the smell.
I love it, but it's strange
great.
because of the sheer size of it as well.
They're massive. I mean, you guys can't see. We're in my living room, and there's a freaking 6-foot Christmas tree there, and it's when you think about it, just the tree in your living room is strange. I mean, I'm guessing most countries, or a lot of countries, don't do that and probably think that that's weird as hell.
Yeah, exactly. I think it is, again, one of those things that if you've just always done it, it just becomes normalised. I mean,
So where does it stem from?
Stems from?
Yeah, give us the...
the pagans.
Was it a pagan thing?
Honestly, I don't know. Well, apparently, it is.
So have a little read. What does it say?
Apparently, it's a pagan or pagan, depending on where you're from, tradition.
Pagan.
Pagans use branches of evergreen plants and trees to decorate their homes during the winter season.
Solstice. As
a reminder of the spring to come and bring to life colour to the dull winter. So that's kind of what I said. The dull winter nights, it brings a bit of colour and festive.
It is so nice. Like if you sit in your living room on the 29th of November and then at the 1st of December or whenever you decide to have your Christmas tree. I don't like going Christmassy pre-December, but I love sitting there watching a movie, even if it's not Christmassy, just sat there in the living room with like a nice, pretty, well-decorated Christmas tree.
Yeah, it is nice. I have to say though, in London, because I live in kind of a smaller flat, we didn't actually get one.
No way, you haven't got a Christmas tree
but I will have one at home in my family house, and I'm flying back to Jersey
You
tomorrow.
know, you can get like 2-foot tabletop ones, and you can just put them on your dining room table. That's what my mum does.
I guess I could do that, maybe next year.
She's not that keen on having a big tree.
Yeah, I wouldn't be keen, because...
We might be living together next year.
Yeah, with the podcast studio.
With the podcast studio in the house.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, we're moving into a place with a podcast studio like built in. Me and Fred are potentially considering moving in together. Or Fred moving into the house in like 6 months.
I'll sleep in the studio. That is the plan, though. That'd be good. So in around 6 months, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently the modern Christmas trees, they originated during the Renaissance in early modern Germany. So
whoa. Yeah,
so it's 16th century origins are sometimes associated with Protestant Christian reformer Martin Luther. So the modern, I don't know what it means by a modern Christmas tree. I guess like what we have today, that's during the Renaissance period apparently.
Interesting. Yeah. So a bit of a weird blood history.
Yeah.
And then we get the London one where every year since 1947 we get a Christmas tree gifted to us from Norway, back to the Scandinavians, for basically saying thanks for helping us during World War II.
Oh,
which
really?
is a nice tradition.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what, is it in central London somewhere? A massive tree?
Yeah. Have you seen it? It annoyingly, sadly, there's often photos of it when it gets cut down and when it arrives in London. And it arrives in London so bare. Like it's like 3/4 of the needles and sticks and branches have fallen off.
Oh.
And so you kind of get this massive, gorgeous tree, absolutely gigantic. And then it arrives in London and it literally looks like how you'd expect it to look on January 15th.
Yeah.
Like it's just on its last
It's a nice tradition.
Lovely tradition. Very sweet. So
shout out Norway.
Thanks. Thank you, Norwegians. Yeah, and actually, it's there's a special ceremony held in Norway where a tree is cut down in the forest, which I didn't know about. It goes up in Trafalgar Square. Yeah. Interesting. And so, do you want to do mince pies as well?
Yeah. So mince pie is obviously a very traditional English thing that we do, and I'm sure a lot of other countries as well. Have you ever made your own mince pies?
No, I'm not a big fan of them.
You don't like them?
No, do you?
I love them.
They freak me out.
Oh, really? My gran always used to make them, and I love them. I think they're so nice. But I never eat them, obviously, outside of Christmas. I'd stuff my face with them.
If Chris was here, he'd be back in the mince. He
Really?
loves a mince pie. He did one in a bake-off with Shannon, actually, recently. But I think this, like... I think it's the fact that I don't really know what's in them. They've got a very unusual taste. They don't taste like anything else.
They're so nice though. I want one right now. Like, the pastry is so good. But yeah, I mean, it's apparently it was initially a status symbol, and it was traditionally only the rich that could afford them. So it showed a sign of status, showed a sign of wealth. Whereas now, obviously.
So people used to eat them to flex?
I guess, yeah. It'd be the equivalent of having a Rolex, I guess. Maybe not that extreme. But still, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of to flex, I guess, that you're a wealthy individual.
Yeah.
And yeah, they became a popular treat around the festive period thanks to tradition from the Middle Ages, which saw people eat a mince pie for 12 days from Christmas Day to the 12th night. Doing this believed to bring you happiness for the next 12 months. So they're a little lucky charm. You need to
maybe on the chance they're a lucky charm, I should get involved.
I think this year you have one.
So next up, Santa. So this is one I think we might have learnt about in school, but I can't really remember it too well. So we've got a lot of these interesting facts in front of us that we actually haven't really looked through already. So this is as news to us as it is to you, although I'm sure a few of you will know some of these. So the story of Father Christmas starts with St. Nicholas, a bishop who lived in Myria, Asia Minor, which is now Turkey, in the 4th century. He had a reputation for giving to the poor and being kind to children. Legend has it St. Nicholas dropped a bag of gold down the chimney of a poor man who could not afford his daughter's dowry. What's dowry?
No clue.
Why do I feel like that's a thing in Islam? Anyway, the bag fell into a stocking that had been left... Oh no, that's a slightly different word. The bag fell into a stocking that had been left by the fire to dry. Oh, wow, so it's a bit of a coincidence and a one-off. So he dropped some gold down the chimney of this poor man. It fell into a stocking. It became a bit of a tradition.
Wow.
So he's drawn throughout history in various forms, thin, intellectual, and even frightening. I know this one. It was Coca-Cola's adverts that created the image of the rotund, jolly, white-haired man that we're familiar with today.
Serious?
So I believe, this isn't written down, but I've heard at least that Santa Claus was a skinny guy in a green suit.
Like an elf?
Up until Christmas, basically. Up until Coca-Cola came along and went, we're Coca-Cola Red. We're going to put him in a red suit to make him Coca-Cola-y.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
I mean, that was always a thing when I was a kid, when I realised that Christmas was coming, because you'd have the Coca-Cola adverts come on TV.
That's
Do
true,
you remember
yeah.
those?
Or
and
now,
they were always gorgeous.
The John Lewis one.
The John Lewis ones, I love them.
I haven't seen this year.
I haven't seen this year's either. I used to love the one with the kid where his parents kind of thought he was depressed. Like throughout Christmas period, the build up, he'd be playing on the swing looking dull and sad, and he'd be going to bed early as quickly as possible after dinner and rushing his dinner. The parents are kind of going, oh, what's wrong with him? And then he wakes up and he's beaming with joy. Yeah. He's giving a gift, and it's like...
It is wholesome.
For gifts that you can't wait for Christmas to come until. And the whole idea is that he wasn't actually just like a depressed kid. He just couldn't wait for Christmas to come around to give this gift that he couldn't wait to give, which I thought was really sweet.
That is sweet. Also, it was about the giving rather than...
It was. He wasn't actually sad. He was just, he couldn't wait.
Yeah, I think that was one of the bigger ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That one, yeah. Whereas, I don't know if they must have done one, but it's maybe not as...
Quite not as popular.
Not as popular.
All right, and so I guess going on to the last one is Christmas dinner. So we've already kind of spoken about it, what meats you have. And interestingly, so I'm already holding a bit of a grudge here, it was King Henry VIII, who was the first English monarch to eat turkey on Christmas Day, popularising among the upper class after the bird was imported from the Americas.
No way.
So I'm guessing from that, it sounds like people in England were eating turkey, but it wasn't until he ate it that it was like
became a tradition.
Considered, a bit of a tradition. Apparently the introduction of refrigerators in the 1950s brought the dish into the mainstream and onto dining tables around the country.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess meat... Yeah, how do you store meat in the olden days? In salt and...
Well, also because... Yeah, it's quite a tradition now to get your... It's like a big thing going out, getting your turkey as well, isn't it? And you have to be organised with it and get it beforehand.
Yeah, true.
So I guess that introduction kind of changed the whole tradition.
Yeah, but apparently most countries have different classic Christmas meals. So if you're from a country that's not England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Maybe actually even Ireland, Scotland and Wales have slightly different to English. Maybe it's an English thing to have like a roast turkey and a Jersey thing. But so apparently Swedes often eat pickled herring and meatballs. In Mexico, they eat tamales. And in southern Italy, they favour fried eel.
Eel?
Which is I don't know, I had eel before. We have eels in Jersey.
I've ever eaten one, no.
But yeah, that's a bunch of the the Christmas traditions. I guess the last one is Boxing Day. And that's just sort of a tradition in the traditional practice of giving presents and money to poor people, which we definitely don't really carry on here. We just kind of take the day off.
Yeah, it's just like a bank holiday, isn't it?
So I don't know how we've gone from everyone giving poor people food and gifts to let's all take the day off. But yeah, there are any other... Actually, whilst we were going through these, I actually thought of a couple of Christmas traditions that might be Jersey. Did you ever do the Christmas swim?
I didn't, but I know a lot of people do that.
So I lived on Wayne Beach
that
in
must
Jersey.
be just a Jersey thing. But I never understood that.
Yeah, I don't get why we did it.
That?
So for those of you who don't know what the Christmas swim is or have never seen this, it's basically, in Jersey at least, the temperature goes down to probably around 10 degrees, the water, maybe even lower, maybe 9 or 8. And on Christmas morning, everyone gathers around to the beaches. It ended up spreading to a load of the other beaches, but we used to do it on Wayne. And you'd basically just go in for a swim in just your shorts. And it was freezing. I could never hack. The one winter I dunked, I got the worst headache ever.
Really?
And ran straight out because it was ice cold.
It'd be good for you though. It's like refreshing. It's just a satisfying feeling.
I mean, people do like ice swims and stuff in like Russia and Scandinavia and stuff, but
but people also do it just as like a health reason.
Oh yeah, true. They do it in the fitness world quite a lot, don't they? But yeah, no, everyone would sort of pile down to the beach, go for this Christmas swim, and it was kind of to raise money for a charity. So every year it would be a different charity, and it would kind of be like if you were partaking and suffering, as a part of the suffering, you'd give some money in. And it was really nice, actually. So I lived on this little beach called Wayne, and it was like, 5 or 6 houses by this like gorgeous beach and really nice sea and stuff. And we had a local pub called the Smugglers Inn, and everyone would go for this freezing cold swim. And you'd wrap up warm and go in, and they'd have
be loads of
big log fireplace. Oh, like 100, 200 people, like packed. And then everyone would pile into this like warm little like log. I just remember this like log fire being lit and just being ice cold and sat in front of it. Like, this is my favorite time of year. Christmas music, lots of mince pies, which I wasn't hugely keen on, but I'd have sort of like peanuts and crisps and stuff. And just gather around the fire and listening to Christmas songs. It was always great. So that was a real big...
That's a good memory, yeah.
It's a nice Christmas tradition, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think because obviously this is like one of the first Christmases I've had in Jersey, so maybe I will be doing that on Christmas Day, but I don't know. Maybe I will be heading down to the beach.
If I'm... Because I'm in Jersey for Christmas as well.
That's tempting.
I'll hit you up for it. It's quite nice. Yeah. It is very nice. It's a nice thing to do with your family. And there was actually... So in Jersey, we get quite strong waves. And one year when I was quite old, I think I was probably 17 or 18, we had moved away from Wayne and we moved to St Albans, and this beach is like a really long, it's very, very flat, so like the tide goes out in and out by about a mile probably. Like generally if you want to walk to the sea at high tide, it's a metre away from the top of the beach, and then at low tide it's literally like a 10-minute walk. And I remember going for the Christmas swim and kind of forgetting that it wasn't like Wayne where it gets deep really quickly. And I just run in, and when it hits about waist height, I go to dive. And my nose skids along the sand, and it gives me like a sandburn. But I was like, I could have broken my neck.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Because I just kind of, thankfully I went to banana.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, if I jump like a few meters in front, the sand will get, because in Wayne, like,
that's probably why you're scared of it now. You've had a traumatic experience in the past.
So this time I definitely won't dive in banana thing.
Don't.
But that's pretty much it for Christmas traditions, I think. Any more you can think of, or do you want to move on to...
What, on Christmas Day?
Just Christmas in general. Well, I mean, so this is really interesting. So some of you guys who like followed me and Locked In will know Joke Man, my friend from Jamaica, or his family are Jamaican, and so they don't do Christmas Day presents. They give Christmas presents out on the 1st of December.
I remember you telling me this, actually.
And then Christmas kind of dies down, and they show a lot of family around.
Smaller gifts each day leading up?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Like that? Or is it all the gifts?
No, I think the main present...
Instead of an advent calendar?
Yeah, you
It's
just
like
give a
a
bunch of gifts.
present,
Do you do an
yeah.
advent calendar?
I think this is the first year I haven't.
Really?
I always
Shame.
used.
I love a
did
good
you?
advent
Have
calendar. Mine's down there.
you?
I got a lint one.
I mean, yeah, I can't imagine buying myself one.
I like having a little nibble of a
Yeah.
chocolate, just like in the daily countdown. I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
And then the lint ones have like a nice lint bunny or like a lint Santa at the end, which is really nice.
I also thought that if I was going to like skip ahead, then I'd go on the naughty list. So I'd never do it.
Oh, I see.
I'd be like
Were
very
you
strict on
tempted
it.
to
Whereas
skip ahead?
some people do, like just munch them all.
Fair.
I couldn't imagine doing that.
Okay, right. So we'll kind of move on to the Christmas dinner. So you're a Christmas dinner man, right? You have a big Christmas dinner. Okay, let's build our perfect one. I want you guys as well to let us know what your perfect Christmas dinner is. Meat. You've already said you're fine with the turkey, which is kind of messed up.
Turkey, I'm a big fan. Yeah.
You'd happily go with the turkey.
Definitely.
I would go with.
You go
It's
like
kind
gammon.
of true, but I'd go with chicken.
Gammon.
I prefer chicken to turkey. It's
Okay.
moister with a bit more flavour. But
No,
it's
you've got to
gotta
have a turkey though for Christmas. Like you can have chicken anytime.
It's weird.
You just have to have it.
Why would I go for a slightly worse tasting drier meat?
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe you just need to improve the way you cook it.
We've got South African family friends and they have beef, which I find strange.
Really?
Not quite as strange as eel for us. That's
Yeah,
kind of
eel's
but no, I'd go for chicken. Do you like the skin? Skin on, skin off?
You have to have the skin.
Great.
Otherwise, as you said, it is so dry.
Yeah.
And then you just need the entire gravy pot on top the whole time.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Do you like...
Stuffing on the side.
I sometimes stuff
That
it, take
motion.
it out, and stuff it again just for the experience.
No, stuffing
No,
is like probably my favourite.
It's so good, isn't it?
It's probably my favourite part
It is
of it.
great.
Yeah.
Whatever the like sausage,
I don't even know
sage
what
and
it
onion,
really is.
whatever
Yeah,
the
it's
stuff
just
is.
amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
Veg.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
potatoes, you've got to go for potato.
roasties.
Are you like?
Yeah.
Some people do boiled, like
has to be roasted.
you know when they're like soft skinned. Yeah, they've got to be
Yeah.
crunchy and fluffy.
And parsnips or not?
I think parsnips are weird. I think when you get older, you like more veg. Because
Yeah.
this year I was like, ooh. So my little sisters, like I said, I've got 4 of them, and 2 of them came around to stay, kind of to give them a kind of, because they live with the younger siblings, they're kind of treated as a little kid. And I was like, oh, come stay with me in London. You know, we'll do Winter Wonderland. That's actually another tradition, Winter Wonderland. Do you do Winter Wonderland every Christmas?
I went for the first time this year.
No way.
Because I've only been in London like just over a year.
Oh yeah.
So, and I didn't go last year. I should have gone probably.
That's
but this,
like a Christmas tradition.
this year I
for me.
went for the first time.
Did you like it?
Little overrated.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it is just a big Christmas fairground, basically.
I also
isn't it?
don't really like rides that much, so it was kind of.
Oh, you
wasn't
said
the
this
best
on your
experience.
phobias and fears.
Yeah.
You hate the rides.
But I was forced on one. I didn't want to like be the only person not going on this ride, and I went with my flatmates, and we all agreed to go on this one ride. I felt sick for like half an hour afterwards. I hated it. But I'm pleased I did it. But I think next time I just don't like them.
See, I hate roller coasters, and I've never really been on a roller coaster. And my little siblings, who are freaking like, what are they,
Nuts.
12 and 14?
Yeah,
We're like,
they go on anything.
there's a loop-de-loop one that does 6 loop-de-loops, like fully upside down and a massive drop. And they were like, oh yeah, let's go on that. And I was like, I'm supposed to be the big brother that looks after them. I can't be like, oh no, I'm too scared.
Exactly, it's peer pressure.
So I went on it as well, and it was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
I do
all
like
the
good
games are
Wonderland.
cool.
They are.
They're alright, but yeah, it is overrated. But it's something
Yeah.
that is quite nice.
I went in a little group as well, and we sort of did there's like an adult section. I don't know if you went in with a teepee with the, like, it's got a log fire and it's a bar.
Yeah,
and
I
there
saw
are no
that,
kids.
yeah.
That's really nice, and just sort of
Yeah.
like sitting around a fire, sharing stories over mulled wine. Like, it is a very like wholesome, sweet.
Oh yeah, I got on the mulled wine. That's another thing, I guess, as well. I'd never drink mulled wine
No, it's
any
such
other
a
time.
weird.
It is a strange drink, but yeah, it's so Christmassy.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I
It's
just.
spiced. This is what
drunk
I mean.
there.
We're drinking a spiced bourbon with, I think, like
Southern
fruits
Comfort.
and stuff, and it's a real Christmassy drink. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Southern Comfort. So yeah, you got to go potatoes. Yeah, it's parsnips. I don't know how we got onto Christmas.
So you're a
How
fan
we
of-
derailed to Winter Wonderland from there.
I don't know, but you're a fan of parsnips.
I
aren't you?
like parsnips now. Tell you what, with all vegetables in a roast dinner. Oh yeah, I was saying because I had my siblings round.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you know what? I should get some cauliflower cheese and parsnips. And they were like, no, that's gross. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I'm getting old and I just like... I feel like when you're a kid, you don't like them as much.
I never used to like parsnips.
As a kid, like, I swear, cartoons made you think broccoli was the most disgusting thing ever. And it's one of my favourite foods by an absolute mile.
Nah, it's not that good.
Add a bit of butter, salt, and a bit of like herbs on.
I mean, it's like cauliflower
broccoli.
cheese.
It's so
the
nice.
cauliflower's not nice. It's
Cauliflower
the cheese that makes
is,
it good.
I love it.
Yeah, but
no,
it's
the cauliflower, no, because cheese by itself. Remove the cauliflower.
No, but I mean, it's the combination. Like, it's like broccoli's not great, but if you
grilled broccoli as well,
have it with like butter and stuff.
Yeah, it's so good. But Brussels sprouts, I've never come around to. That I find so weird. I've tried them, and every time I'm like, I don't really.
I force them down.
Well, you do eat them.
I eat them, yeah.
I'd probably eat them if I was a guest at someone's house, but if I was at my family house, I probably wouldn't pick them up. But yeah, I was going to say, with all vegetables, caramelizing them is everything. Get carrots and parsnips and stuff.
Yeah.
When they're quite like steamed or boiled and they're like quite vegetable-y, I'm not a fan. But when they're sweet, or like my sister did like honey glazed carrots and peas, and
unreal.
Oh my word.
Yeah, that transforms it.
So carrots, parsnips, peas. Got to have loads of peas.
They're not bad. They're all right.
I mean, what's the highlight of the dish? We've forgotten.
For me?
Yeah, for everyone.
Stuffing.
Oh yeah, similar to stuffing.
Gravy. What? Not gravy?
The little pigs in blankets.
Oh yeah, they're good.
They're so good.
Gravy though makes it, I reckon.
I don't like a pigs in blankets when the bacon is like got white stringy fat on it though.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got to be like caramelized as well. Caramelization. Yeah. The gravy makes a big difference. When people upload pictures of their Christmas dinner at Christmas, it's something I find hilarious every year. Is people upload pictures of their Christmas dinners, and some of them are just sad. You've got no gravy. The potatoes are a light yellow colour. The carrots are a bright orange. Like nothing is well cooked. Like it looks like they've been cooked on a radiator.
Yeah, would you back yourself doing Christmas dinner for the family?
I cooked one for me. Yeah, for me, Flo, who lives with us in Willow and Autumn. Like literally 3 days ago.
Oh wow!
I did a whole Christmas dinner.
Oh,
so I did chicken, pigs in blankets,
so not turkey.
sweet corn.
It's not Christmas dinner then, is it?
Unbelievable. What else? Yorkshire puddings. Yorkshire puddings are so good. My South African friend did rice with his, which I thought was weird. I would never have. It was okay, but it's quite nice with gravy. Gammon, yeah. Red cabbage doesn't do it for me.
I don't mind it. I wouldn't really have it for Christmas dinner.
Bread sauce, my family have never done, so I don't even know what bread sauce is. I think it's like a white, milky, bready, I don't know. Cranberry sauce. This is again something I've only come to appreciate when I've gotten older.
I don't like it.
If you get a carrot that's like honey glazed, honey roasted carrot, and dip it in cranberry sauce.
I'm not a fan of cranberry sauce.
Have you tried it?
No.
And my little siblings we've got. I'm not a fan. How can you not be a fan if you've never tried it?
Because you know like those sandwiches, the Christmas edition sandwiches.
Mate, it's not the same.
They're so great.
When you get a hot, really nice thing that should be sweet, like a honey glazed carrot,
then maybe
the cranberry, it's really good. Honestly, if you get a chance, try it. Christmas pudding. I absolutely detest.
I love it.
You're kidding me.
I love that.
That's a bit of mince pie as well. I don't know what's in it.
So nice.
My great aunt, who's like the matriarch of our family, it's like in her 90s, used to cook a Christmas pudding for us. She'd do the thing where she covers it in gin or whatever it is and lights it on fire.
It's quite
quite
alcoholic,
cool.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But
it's nice. I mean, it's just again something that you'd only have around Christmas time, but it's something you just have to eat. I think
you enjoy it.
I love it. Yeah, it's so good.
If I smother it in custard and it's warm,
exactly.
I can be like, I can
so
get
you
this
still
down
eat
me.
it?
It's not like vile, but I think I just find it strange. I don't know what's in it.
Yeah,
there's like raisins and sultanas, but it's got a very weird mince pie kind of like.
It's kind of like it's like
acidic taste.
The mince. Yeah, it's like
very
a condensed
festive.
mince.
Yeah. All
in one with a bit of alcohol in it. It tastes like.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it. I think it's good.
Fair enough. So that's a pretty solid. And then, so have you ever seen Peep Show?
Yes.
They kind of have the argument is cauliflower is not traditional.
Yeah.
And I would never have cauliflower in.
You wouldn't have cauliflower cheese?
Wait, that's white cabbage? Oh no, cauliflower's the white stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cauliflower cheese. I wouldn't say it was traditional.
No, it's not traditional.
But it is nice.
I don't know if I'd have it.
I wouldn't have it without cheese.
On Christmas Day though, I don't know if I'd have it, but I think, like, if it was there, I'd eat it.
I
it's not like
just
traditional
love a big plate of like a million different things. You know, when you go to a restaurant, one thing I hate about going to eat out in a restaurant is like having to decide one meal. I love now. I used to hate sushi as a kid, but now I love it. Yeah. And I love just kind of ordering like different this sushi bowl and this sushi bowl and these like grilled tender stem broccoli that they do it.
But that's the thing. Like you have to every year just keep eating until you literally feel sick. Like that's just the rule.
This
like,
is
just keep going.
This is probably an unusual one. So you know, after you've had the Christmas dinner, So my dad did turkey more than he did chicken, much to my frustration.
As in, like, away from Christmas?
At Christmas,
Oh,
he would do a roast turkey, just I'm guessing for tradition reasons. And he used to make a Thai green curry that we'd eat on Boxing Day out of the leftovers. So we'd have the roast dinner.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then when they do roast turkey and the veg and stuff,
classic
just chuck it in Thai green curry.
The classic would be like turkey sandwiches.
That's the thing. I would want a turkey sandwich, and he'd be like, no, that's for the Thai green curry.
That's impressive.
And I was like, that's niche.
That's impressive.
My dad loves cooking. He's such a good chef.
Yeah, that is impressive. I think I would prefer that, to be fair.
You love a Thai green curry as well,
I love
don't you?
it. So good.
So good.
I mean, I guess that then lead us on to the next thing, which would be Christmas movies.
Ranking Christmas movies. Now, this one I know is a touchy subject for some people, because some people just... I mean, okay, let's start. So we've got a list of some. Have you seen Elf?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. So I have a select few that I wouldn't... I pretty much only watch them. Like, I don't really... I feel like it's the same with anything around Christmas. It's that tradition of repetitiveness where you know what you like and you stick to it. And I think Christmas movies are like that as well. Like, Elf... He's got to be one of the best.
So good.
So good.
What else? I mean, that it's such a like wholesome, funny, Christmassy. It's a real like light-hearted one. Can't get hiccups. The Grinch is this got hiccups. Is a similar kind of one where it's like it's a bit weird. It's not like a traditional Christmas story. I guess it is because it's Dr. Seuss. But like, do you watch the Jim Carrey one? Wait, do you watch the Grinch?
I've seen the Grinch film.
Yeah. The like
it's
live
the only
one. Did you know it's Jim Carrey?
Oh,
Behind the mask.
I didn't think I didn't know that.
He used to spend like 8. He said it used to drive him crazy. He would have to like sit in an operating chair for like 8 hours whilst they like did all his makeup. And he said he used to feel so claustrophobic underneath his outfit that like when it finished filming, he just could not wait to like get it off. And like when it finished, like filming at the end of it, he was like so happy that he never had to put it on again. Yeah,
I'm not surprised. It kind of creeps me out as well, that film.
It is a little bit creepy.
Yeah, but then a lot of Christmas films actually do have a hint of like creepiness.
Yeah, I mean the classic one, which is my favourite one by an absolute mile, Muppets Christmas Carol. Do you watch that one?
No.
Have you seen it before?
No.
Oh, you need to watch that. It's so good. I mean, it's Dickens' Christmas Carol.
Okay.
So it's the same classic story. It's Michael Caine is Ebenezer Scrooge. So like great actor. It's quite musical. Like there are a good number of musical numbers in it, but like they're great Christmas songs. Like they just are like they really get you in the Christmas spirit. And I've got them in my Christmas party playlist.
Oh really?
It's sort of like Muppets Christmas Carol songs. Like it sounds like it's going to be a bit naff, but it's like a real. It really is a good...
Oh, the Muppets?
Yeah, wait, would you...
Oh.
Did I say something wrong?
Well, no, I just thought it was a separate film, Muppet Christmas Carol. I didn't realise it actually was.
Oh, yeah, no, the Muppets one with Michael Caine.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you mean now, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. That's going to be my favourite. Like, just the fact that it's the classic Christmas Carol story, like, you know, it's one of the greatest stories of all time, especially in Christmas time. Great music, a great actor, great moral to the story, very Christmassy. Yeah, big fan. Oh, add that to your list.
Yeah, maybe.
You need to watch it.
I'll probably when I go home. Actually, I'll watch that.
Yeah, Home Alones.
Yeah, I think they're just a classic, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, the first two are good. What are the ones with Kevin McAllister?
I've only watched a few of them.
So there's Home Alone 1 where he gets stuck at home. So there's Home Alone 1 where his family leave him behind in America.
I've seen that one in the airport. Yeah.
And then there's Home Alone 2 where he gets left behind in the airport and that's the one. And he goes to New York, so that's Home Alone Lost in New York.
Yeah.
And his family go to like Paris or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes to New York. But there's a couple of others like Home Alone 3 and 4 where it's like new kids and it's just it's a rehash of the old story without a lot of the charm.
I've only seen 1 and 2 where it's like those it's the same actors in those, right?
Oh yeah, it's Kevin McAllister. Same kid in Family and Story. And then they just have some
just got washed.
Gadget loving Neek that just absolutely loves it.
Yeah. What about have you seen The Holiday?
Yes,
I'm a fan, you know.
I used to hate it, and now I think it's really sweet.
Yeah.
I don't like Cameron Diaz. I can't lie.
What?
She cringes me out.
No, I love Cameron Diaz.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know the scene. I don't know how she did it in front of the camera crew, where she's singing Mr. Brightside. Coming out of the cage, and she's like stood there
around the room
in the house with a bottle of wine.
You
just
could say that
singing
about
that
so
song.
many things. How is that? How are you cringed out with that? She's an
I
actress.
don't know.
I think it's like
I find her so cringe.
It's a good rom-com. Like,
it's a great, like I'm a straight guy and Jude Law is
sexy man.
I always look at him and I'm like, why can't I look like that? Like, he's so handsome.
But it's not necessarily. I don't think it's his looks, it's his demeanour, and it's just like
he's very charming.
He's just
as well.
very charming, calm.
And with his two sweet kids.
Yeah. It is. I think that's one of my favourites. I think that's so good.
Kate Winslet is like the other woman who goes across. The Whitley from the Titanic.
Yeah. The blonde one.
Yeah. Just so sweet, and the little old man called Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Jack Black.
Yeah. That one I don't really. I find that one a little bit strange because
what the story?
Jack Black seems to have a bit of a thing for her when he's got the girlfriend.
They also kiss.
And they kiss, and it's a bit like I never really
was. I was unsure what was evolving there.
Yeah,
so they trying to like develop a romance, and then they're all together at the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it was just a good friendship.
You know what's really funny? I don't know if you know this, but they filmed the two separate ones in two separate chunks. So rather than like going backwards and forwards.
The
set in London, like the cute little cottage.
Yeah.
That's in LA.
Oh really?
Or was that in LA?
It's in Surrey, supposedly, in the film.
Yeah. So they filmed all of the outdoor shots in the UK, and then all the interior ones of like inside the little cottage were filmed in LA. And so they filmed them all, and Jude Law was quite pale white, and then they went to LA, and apparently he was there for 5 weeks before they actually started filming because they just took so long. So by the time they started filming the indoor scenes, he had this incredible like LA tan.
He had that glow. Yeah.
So you can see him outside like all white, and then he goes inside and he's just got this like tan, and it's quite funny.
Yeah.
And so, God.
No, I was just gonna say that makes sense now.
Yeah, you'll clock it now if you watch it.
Yeah.
A similar one on the same kind of theme that we were just talking about is Love Actually. Have you seen Love Actually?
Yeah.
So I'm actually doing a YouTube video. It's not going to be in time for this Christmas, but so I'll get out for next Christmas on why Love Actually is really problematic. It's kind of a bit cringe. I mean, it's playing off the kind of like everything gets cancelled. I love Love Actually. It's one of my favourite films. Are you a fan of it?
Yeah,
Do you
I love
like
it. I think it's so
good.
It's
so sweet, isn't it?
It's probably the best one.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
But all of the relationships are kind of messed up. Like there's something wrong in every relationship. I mean, the worst one obviously is who's the guy? Oh God, who plays Severus Snape? Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman cheating on Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
The fact he doesn't like cheat, but he buys her the necklace. He buys his assistant a necklace. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And like obviously his wife Emma Thompson like finds out that he's bought his assistant secretary or whatever it is this like £270 gold necklace.
Yeah.
And bought her a CD. And that's just such a bummer. Like, why work a cheating story in? And like, she kind of takes him back, and it kind of like gives the impression that like cheating is a kind of like forgivable thing that you can move on from, which I don't really like. The other one of what's his name? Aurelia and Colin Firth. I don't know what they're, the Portuguese girl.
Oh, and the kids, the Portuguese girl and the young drummer kid. No?
Nah. So Colin Firth, the writer who goes to France, and he's like in this cottage, and she brings him tea, and she lifts up the tea, and it goes flying into the lake, and they run and jump into the lake.
I can't remember.
You don't remember the scene?
I literally can't remember.
So basically, it's Colin Firth, and he's like, he finds out his wife or girlfriend is cheating on him with his brother.
Yeah.
He walks in and to like check on his brother. No, he walks back into his house, and his wife. And he sees his brother, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And his wife goes, "Come on, big boy, I want you 3 times until like before my husband gets home." And he's like, "Oh damn!" And so he realizes he's got a cheat on. So he goes to sort of France to continue working on his novel and get away from it all. And they've got a cleaner for the house called Aurelia, who's like a Portuguese girl. And he sort of falls in love with her, and she falls in love with him, even though they don't speak the same language. And he's like kind of saying like, "It's my favorite time of the year." Of the day, like, is driving you home, and she's like, my favorite time of the day, no, my least favorite time of the day is saying leaving. Goodbye to you. And it's like they fall in love with each other, and he ends up proposing to her without either of them actually speaking each other's language.
Yeah,
although he learns a bit.
I mean that can happen though.
But how can you possibly know someone well enough to say you love them, want to marry them,
I guess.
if you never even had a conversation with them? That's surely just based purely on looks and slight physical chemistry.
So do you think they're the main controversies then?
That's a big one where it's like, how are you getting married when...
Yeah.
What's it going to be like when you live together and have conversations and you can have completely different values and stuff.
He could teach her English.
Yeah, but like once they do, they might realise they're not right for each other.
True.
There's actually a funny scene, so I'm guessing you don't remember it, but yeah, he's on a typewriter outside writing his novel, and she picks up a mug of tea, and all of the like paper gets blown into this sort of like lake, and she goes, "Oh my God, your book," and sort of undresses and jumps into the lake, and he jumps after her. And that lake is only 18 inches deep.
Oh,
and
really?
They had to fake like swimming around, pretending like they were like struggling to thing. And
so you're doing a full video on this, are you?
Yeah. And what are the other ones? There's the Prime Minister and the assistant.
Oh yes, yeah.
And everyone throughout the whole film was calling her fat.
Actually, yeah.
And the other girl's like, "Oh yeah, the one with the massive thighs. Yeah, her." And he's like, "Oh, would we say her thighs are massive?" And then he goes around to her house, and the dad's like, "Oh, you want her? Plumpy."
Really?
And he's like, and she just gets fat shamed the entire thing, and she is literally like
not fat
size 10 or 12, like literally.
I need to rewatch it from this point of view.
Normal. And there's the power dynamic because he's the Prime Minister, and she's a much younger like servant, like,
that's true actually.
Thing, and it's like there's this weird power dynamic.
Yeah.
And then again, the drummer boy who falls in love with the girl who sings. And again, he's never spoken to her.
Yeah, that's true.
She doesn't even know he exists, and he's like, I'm in love with her. It's based purely on looks.
It's that whole theme of like, over Christmas, everyone kind of comes together, and you just, I don't know, you just open up or have those feelings, even if they're not genuine or they don't last.
Freaking that girl who's
people
like...
fall in love.
That's true, yeah. But then, and the one of like, the girl who's in love with the guy who works at her office, and he's like a very handsome Spanish-looking guy, and she's got the disabled brother, and they're about to have sex, and her phone keeps ringing.
Oh my God, yeah,
do you know the one?
Yeah.
And again, they've never spoken. Like, they barely know each other, and then all of a sudden they just go and basically try and sleep with each other one night, and it's like...
What's the scene where...
It's very romantic.
It's like he comes around with flowers. One of them comes around with flowers to their house and then has the car.
That's even worse.
Is that...
Yes, because there's that guy, he falls in love with his best friend's wife. So he organises the wedding for his best mate and and the girlfriend. They get married... And then she comes over to his house to pick up the wedding tape that he recorded, figures out that he's in love with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, damn. And then all of a sudden he rocks up and knocks on the door, and thankfully she answers and just goes to the husband like, oh, it's Christmas carols. And it's the guy's best mate. And he's holding all these cards like, I love you, I'm going to love you till you're old and wrinkly. And he walks away and she runs after him and snogs him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, no more.
Yeah, it's dodgy.
And it's like, this ruins everything. You've just kissed your best mate's wife.
Everyone just forgives.
If I marry someone and she kissed you on the lips because you fell in love with her secretly, that's marriage ending.
Yeah, but it makes a good film.
It annoys me so much. Like, can we not have one sweet thing? The only one sweet one is Bill Nighy getting invited. He gets a Christmas #1 because he's a musician. Gets invited to Elton John's New Year's Eve party. No, Christmas Day party or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, one of the parties, and goes, actually, I'm sitting here with all these A-list stars, but I'd rather be with my manager, who's my best mate, and rocks up at his manager's house and spends Christmas with him instead.
Oh, and sacks off
which is quite wholesome. Yeah. And there are a bunch of people that think they're gay, that go like, that's a homosexual awakening for him, going like, even though they kind of address it, and he goes, God, you've turned gay on Christmas or something. And he goes, oh, stop being silly. I just want to spend Christmas with you. But a lot of people think that's like a...
Yeah, that's very controversial as well.
I'm trying to think who
I feel like I need to rewatch it now.
In Love Actually.
And re-analyse it.
I mean, it's a dull way of looking through things. I still watch it and very much enjoy it and don't actually care. Other than the guy who like kisses his mate's wife, because I'm just like, what a douche. I'm not actually sitting there going like, this power dynamic's really controversial and I don't enjoy it. No, but it is interesting to like clock how all of the...
Yeah, just watching it from a different perspective is kind of interesting.
In fact, the only one that's not problematic are the two, who's Tim from The Office played by? He plays Bilbo Baggins.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, his one, the one they're fill-ins for sex scenes in movies, and the cute Welsh blonde girl.
I literally can't remember. I literally can't.
Well, this was one of your favourite films.
I traditionally it is. I've watched
I feel like
it
I'm
years.
explaining this to
Yeah, I
someone
know.
who's never watched it. But anyway, they're
I
quite
literally
sweet.
can't remember.
They meet and they're sort of like,
I've got 2 films to watch now.
yeah,
Over the next week.
and they sort of like they're stand-ins for like in sex scenes in movies, so they're sort of like naked doing all the
okay.
actions, and they're very sweet, and they end up falling in love. They get married very early as well, like 2 weeks after meeting each other, but at least their story isn't problematic. I mean, yeah, like I say, like I'm not particularly like woke mindset where I'm like, no one should watch this and
Sounds like
I don't enjoy it. But I think it's interesting to pick up on all of them. I think I'm gonna do it in a video where it's like I'm kind of poking fun at it, going like, you know, it's no one actually cares, but like this should be cancelled, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Any other movies that you're a big fan of? I feel like I've just done a freaking movie review.
Yeah, that was
We've been waffling
intense.
for the last 10 minutes about
Nah, not really.
Polar Express has to be.
I haven't watched Polar Express.
You've never seen the Polar?
Never seen it. Yeah.
How?
I've just never seen it.
That's such a good one. It's quite a kiddie movie because it's like animated, but it's a real like gets you in the Christmas spirit.
What about Christmas Carol?
Haven't seen that one.
You know,
that's with Jim Carrey.
It's kind of scary, that one. Yeah.
In the animated version of the Charles Dickens story, isn't it?
But other than that, that's what I mean. There's not actually that many.
No, there's not that many. I mean, there's Miracle on 64th Street. Have you ever seen that?
No.
The new version of that's really good. But yeah, there are so many bad Christmas movies. One year I watched something called Four Christmases or something, and it was the worst movie I think I've ever suffered myself through.
Or Bad Santa. Have you seen that?
No.
That's dead.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many bad ones. So let us know what your kind of favourite movies are, guys, and what you kind of like and don't like. And let's go into Christmas number ones. So we've got every Christmas number one since the year 2000. So some of these aren't actually Christmas songs. So first of all...
But that's what I was thinking as well, because I had a look at the list as just before, and the later ones, obviously maybe the past kind of decade or two. Do you remember it was always the X Factor winner would always get the Christmas number one. So that's why some of them aren't Christmas related. It's just whoever gets that Christmas number one.
Oh, they should have done them. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the first one is the year 2000 was Bob the Builder, Can We Fix It? Which is so
How is that number one?
So this one's an interesting one. Actually, earlier today, funny enough, I went to shuffle a Christmas playlist in the background whilst I was working. Yeah. And the first song that came on was evidently Christmas number one in 2001, Something Stupid by Robbie Williams and Nicole Kidman. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, I like you.
I like boys.
Anyway, what?
Yeah.
That was... Where's that come from?
The next
Whiskey's hitting you.
Yeah. Girls Aloud, the next one was in 2002, Sound of the Underground.
That's not Christmassy, I don't even remember that. But...
No, neither.
Oh, 2003, this is one of my favourite songs of all time. I learned to play... This was the first song I ever learned to play on piano.
Really?
Mad World by Gary Jules.
How's that go?
All around me are
my god, that's a banger. That's a banger. I'm a big fan of that. And then that's what I was talking about before. So 2005 was Shane Ward, who he won the X Factor.
You missed 2004. Do They Know It's Christmas by Band Aid?
Yeah, but
which is a Christmas one, but
that's
lyrics,
an actual Christmas one.
I listened to that and I'm like, is this? It's almost so woke it's racist. Have you heard it? Like, well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you. And going like, there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. And they're just like, no one's going to be... Is that the right one?
I don't know.
Do they know... Listen to the lyrics.
Do you know it's Christmas?
Do they know it's Christmas?
Oh, is that one?
Time?
I haven't actually analysed the lyrics. That's a banger, to be fair.
There won't be snow in Africa. And it's like a...
Oh, is that what they say?
This is a time when no one smiles. And it's like painting the whole of Africa as this like failed continent.
Yeah, that's
where in reality, loads of them are enjoying Christmas with.
I feel like you just need to enjoy yourself. Like you're analysing everything in depth.
That's a bit too woke, but I did listen to it and I'm like, what kind of image are they giving of Africa as if like this whole country is just an absolute mess?
But that's what I mean. Then look at that run, Shane Ward, Leona Lewis.
It's for good.
The next couple of years, Shane Ward, Leona Lewis.
That's my goal. What is that about? What is that Christmas number?
And then Leona Lewis was good.
A moment like this is a banger from Leona Lewis, to be fair.
Big time.
But she won She was a good X Factor winner.
And then obviously, and then 2008, Alexandra Burke was also X Factor as well. Hallelujah.
I like the Hallelujah song itself.
That's not her song, though.
It's not her song, that's the cover. Wait, When You Believe by Leon Jackson. I don't know that one.
No.
Killing in the Name.
Oh, Rage Against the Machine. I remember that.
How does that go?
I don't know how it goes, but it's like a rock song. And it was basically the Rage Against the Machine. The whole like purpose was to go against like that whole X Factor run. Whereas whoever would win X Factor would win the Christmas number one. So it was like an anti-establishment. Yeah. So it was like a heavy metal rock song.
Crikey.
It was
like Rage Against the Machine. I just never heard that one.
Completely like against the tone of the previous years.
When We Collide, Matt Cardle, he was another X Factor winner, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
Wherever You Are, Military Wives.
Wherever you are. No.
I just want you back again. I said, want you back. That's a different song now.
Oh, okay. That should be.
He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, The Justice Collective. I don't even know what that is either.
No.
I feel like I wish we could play these songs, but we'd get copyright claim
that's the
and
thing.
The song would get blocked.
That's true, and also a lot of Christmas songs or number ones. You'd recognise the song because it's just so overplayed.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily know the name.
Skyscraper, Sam Bailey, like 2013. We were old here. We were like 16, 17 here. How do we not know that?
That's what I mean, though. I think it was more of a big deal in like 2000s, like Christmas number one, when you buy the album.
That's
like,
true.
Whereas now it's like you just listen.
You listen to your own music.
Yeah, or
true.
Spotify, whatever.
Something I Need, Ben Hey Now.
Hey now.
A Bridge Over You, the Lewisham and Greenwich NHS Choir. Don't know that one. Rockabye, Clean Bandit.
Lad Baby was the last.
Perfect, Ed Sheeran in 2017. We Built This City in 2018, Lad Bible. I Love Sausage Rolls, Lad Baby. Don't Stop Me Eating, Lad Baby.
Sausage
2021, Sausage Rolls for Everyone, Lad Baby. I've never heard any of
No.
them. I think I love that. I've heard the We Built This City and I Love Sausage Rolls.
Yeah, We Built This City.
Lad Baby's a YouTuber.
I don't know who that is.
I think he's a YouTuber, and I think, to be fair, he raises like hundreds of thousands every year. They go to charity.
But what is kind of apparent?
That's so weird. I thought like Mariah Carey.
Yeah, no, that's
All I Want for Christmas.
That's a while ago though.
Would be Christmas number one
That's
like, every year.
Ago.
I think that's currently number one in the UK top 40.
You're thinking different. This is just like whoever's number one in top 40 at the Christmas period.
Yeah, on Christmas Day.
Whereas, this isn't like traditionally the best Christmas song.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like Mariah Carey is currently number one in the UK top 40 charts.
Really?
Yeah. Just
really?
It gets massively played.
Oh.
Anyway.
So what? She would be the 2022 one.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. We've got a couple of days yet left, but obviously the Sidemen have dropped 2 this year. I could see the Sidemen getting number one.
Yeah,
Have you seen This or That? And
my brother told me about this. I didn't actually know about it.
Yeah,
I haven't actually heard it.
Christmas Drillings and This or That. They sort of split up into 2 teams and they're battling it out.
They will be. They'll hit the charts with that.
Their fans are just so strong. They're just like they've just got millions of people who will listen to it just to hear what it looks like it sounds like in the first place. But yeah, what are your favorite? I mean, all the classics. I mean, Last Christmas, banger. All I Want for Christmas Is You, bit overplayed, bit cheesy for my liking.
Banger.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, a bit
overplayed.
That's very Home Alone-y to me.
Yeah,
it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Is banger.
Classic. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
They're all
That's just a classic.
Yeah.
Driving Home for Christmas is one.
For Christmas.
That's one I like when it gets played on the radio, but I don't listen to the radio a lot. But when it gets played, I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not.
Santa Baby, that's Elf.
Yeah, Step Into Christmas by Elton John. He did one with Ed Sheeran that was okay, but I felt like it was a bit forced.
Was that recent?
Like they were trying to get one, yeah. Let It Snow. Happy Christmas, War Is Over by John Lennon, banger. Have Yourself... Feliz Navidad, a nice little Spanish one chucked in for no apparent reason. I guess they speak English in it.
And that's it, really.
I love a good Christmas.
Frosty the Snowman.
Like, yeah. I like my favourite album is the Nat King Cole one.
Which one's
where
that?
he just does all of the like basic like old school.
Is it just like
Christmas,
older Christmas?
The kind of stuff you'd say. You know what? That's weirdly one thing I really miss about Christmas time at school was the Christmas. What was it called when you go to church?
What do you mean?
Around Christmas time, and you sing Christmas carols.
What do you mean? What's it called?
What's it called? There's like a name for it.
Christmas Carol.
The Christmas Carol service. Yeah, Christmas Carol service. You know, every year you'd sort of like, we'd walk through town and go to a massive church. The whole school would be there and belting out Christmas songs. I don't really sing Christmas carols anymore.
Yeah.
Like Oh Holy Night is my favourite Christmas carol, and I would never sing it now.
It was less like Christmas carols though, was it? It was more like it was like religious.
But Oh Holy Night was like fall on your knees and hear.
But it wouldn't be like the modern Christmas.
No. But that's what I mean. So that's what I mean that when I say I like the Nat King Cole album, they're old like Christian.
Yeah.
Like Herald Angels Sing, Oh Come All Ye Faithful, Oh Little Town of Bethlehem. I kind of miss getting into that kind of like, even though I'm not a Christian,
you can sing
into the real. Not really, no. I can like sing on tune, but like no one would pay to listen to me. And actually, over COVID, when I wasn't allowed to go home, we live on church grounds. So I'm moving out, so I can probably say it now. But I live on St Dunstan's church grounds, and it was open for COVID, thankfully. So although we hadn't seen anyone in ages and been able to go, me and my flatmate just went down to the church service, sang Christmas carols and the candles, and like, even though I'm not religious,
that is a sweet thing to do.
I loved it.
That is
I really
sweet.
like it. And I think I'm doing a Christmas carol service with my family in Jersey this year.
Nice.
It's nice because the kids just love Christmas carols and
this
stuff.
weekend?
Crikey, yeah. It's 22nd of December we're filming this today, and it'll probably be
live tomorrow.
Not far off Christmas Eve. Yeah, if not Christmas Eve when you guys hear it for the first time. So, so yeah.
I reckon.
Final section
I reckon we
quiz.
We go on to like personal stories now.
Yeah.
We should have probably started with this, but
well, no, I think it's slightly better because we've had a bit more to drink. I'm feeling a bit more merry and conversational.
Well, before you just couldn't admit what you could imagine your family was watching this and you just revealed this terrible gift that they gave you.
The gift that my mum gave me now. I just feel like as well getting out the like factual stories that we read off.
That's true.
Before the drink settles in.
Yeah.
So Reddit do this thing called gift exchange where you sign up and you send someone a gift and someone sends you. And this woman one year, having done 95 gift exchanges in 2 years, not all for Christmas, got Bill Gates as her secret Santa.
Wait, what?
So Bill Gates...
He signed up to the Reddit exchange.
Her name was Shelby. And amongst the massive presents she got was a card from Gates that read, "Wow, I'm very impressed that this is your 95th Reddit gift exchange. You seem like a very generous person, and I hope my gift makes you smile this Christmas. I've included some fun things to enjoy both at home and outdoors, plus a couple of great books I think you'll like. At the same time," and this is where it gets a little bit sad, "I know no gift will ever make up for losing someone so important to you. I'm very sorry to hear about your mum, and I made a donation to the American Heart Association in her memory." So I think she passed away from a heart attack. "I hope you and your family find your new normal this holiday season." So her mum obviously passed away from a heart condition, and he donated to the thing.
That is sweet.
But she received a big parcel of gifts, so big she couldn't even fit it in her car. It was, where is it? I think it was about £90, as in LBS rather than kilogram.
Yeah.
What's that? Is it £2 to a kilogram?
Yeah.
So it's probably 40, 50 kilograms.
Yeah.
So about half of us. But here's a full list of the gifts that Shelby received from Bill Gates and the Secret Santa. Bill's Deck of Books 2019, a Harry Potter Santa hat, Hylian shield earrings, a very heavy and beautiful handmade Zelda quilt, a hammock with a bug net, almond rocker, Seattle mint chocolates, Jelly Bellies, a toy for her cat, 7 packs of Oreos, a cat-themed logic game, 8 hardcover books, an extremely fancy manuscript copy of The Great Gatsby, which is very fancy, a candle with a passage from The Great Gatsby inscribed, 2 exceptional adult-level Lego sets, a microscale Hogwarts and the retired UCS R2-D2, and a plethora of Twin Peaks gifts, including a shirt and sweatshirt, a book by the director, some memorabilia from his collection, including 5 scripts in season 2 of Twin Peaks, and an embroidered LL Bean jacket, whoever that is, worn by crew members during the 2nd season of the show. So she signed up expecting to get, like a wallet or a purse or a handmade quilt, and got Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's
quite incredible.
That's pretty good.
I actually heard a story, I don't know if it's true, but some guy, like his car broke down and some guy drove and pulled up behind him, helped him got started, gave him some petrol and some money to top up with petrol or whatever. And when he got home, like a couple of weeks later, his mortgage had been paid off. And so it turns out that it had been Bill Gates that had sort of ran out of petrol or broken down. and this guy had been really generous, taking time out of his day to pull over and help him
He
out.
didn't realise it was Bill.
He wrote down Bill Gates, evidently wrote down his license plate, found out who he was, paid off the guy's mortgage.
Wow.
Which is insane. Can you
insane.
imagine?
I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of... It's one of those things where you are super grateful of it, but then, I don't know, it's a bit of a flex. Like,
what do you mean?
I don't know. I know obviously Bill Gates is incredibly wealthy, but if someone was just going to pay off your entire mortgage, I don't know, there's some sort of empty feeling that you'd feel, I think.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a pessimist. Glass is half full.
Kind of, yeah. I just feel like...
Empty in what way?
I don't know. It's
just living rent-free for the rest of your life.
I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's okay in Bill Gates' instance, but if it was someone else who just like randomly paid off your mortgage, you just feel like, why me? I guess you question why you deserve that.
Wow, that's almost like survivor's guilt.
Yeah. I think I would feel a level of guilt for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, before our own, there's so Reddit did an AMA. AMA? Ask Me Anything?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Ask Reddit. And they said, what are the worst Christmas presents you've ever been given? And so some guy wrote in saying that they had bought their whole family tickets to see James Brown live. Only minutes later, after opening them, after the whole family opened up these tickets, it was announced on the news that James Brown had died.
No. Oh, no.
Which we shouldn't laugh at, because obviously someone lost their life. But can you imagine going like, yeah, I go and see this tickets. The whole family must have loved him. They probably did, but still. Bummer on Christmas because they're like, oh, we didn't even get a present.
Yeah, if you're a huge fan as well, it's like, it makes it even worse.
Someone said that their cousin once gave them an autographed picture of themselves, which is kind of weird. I mean,
would you ever do that?
No. I don't care how famous you are. That's so weird. Even if I was Bill Gates himself, I wouldn't give my cousin like an autographed picture of me.
It's like the people that write their own like biography.
You know what is funny though?
And they gift them to their friends. Like that is something.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Okay.
My little sister, oldest one, Willow. So there are two funny things. So there are like a couple of kids in her class that watch my videos, and they're really involved in the server. Like they go on the ArthurTV Minecraft server and stuff. And to take the mick, because I'm ArthurTV, her nickname in school is Willow DVD.
No way, that's quite funny.
I roast her by calling her Willow DVD.
And that is pretty funny.
She has promised a bunch of her classmates for £10 each a like signature, like an autograph from me. So she goes around school going like, I'll sell you like ArthurTV signature.
Wow.
If you pay me. And she didn't even ask me.
Wait, is that when was she the one that came recently?
Yeah.
Did she tell you about it?
Yeah. And
Wow.
The kids in school are just like paying her money for me to get for signed stuff.
And are
you gonna ask me?
You gonna do that?
I don't know. It depends whether I'm feeling like a Grinch or not.
Yeah.
Probably, but it's kind of rogue. Someone's mother-in-law that got them a book on how to take criticism.
Oh, that is
which
punchy.
Is shady.
Yeah. I mean, that is just backhanded, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had a bad, not mother-in-law because I've never been married, but I've never had a girlfriend's parents that I
mean, I feel like that one, though, is kind of just jokey, surely. Like, that's kind of funny, to be fair.
That will be one of two. That will either be funny from a mother-in-law who they get along well with, or it will be like, I criticised you for this and you didn't take it well. Here's a book on it, and it's a real shady one.
Yeah, I think that can be dependent on the sense of humour and context.
Definitely.
Yeah, like that could actually be quite funny. To be fair, it's not necessarily a bad gift. That's probably a quite thoughtful one, if anything.
Yeah, I agree.
It's quite funny.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it depends on the context, but if that is shady, that's funny. I mean, have you? That's all the ones we've found. They're the kind of brief couple of ones we found on the internet. But have you got any? Do you tend to ask for stuff? What were you saying about like wanting something specific about a Pokemon card or something?
Yeah. So back in the day when you collect like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I wanted what was it like? There was like a 5-piece part of like Yu-Gi-Oh set that you would like the like godly figure within Yu-Gi-Oh that everyone would want.
Is it Blue Eyes White Dragon?
No, it'd be like 5 pieces that you'd want.
Oh yeah,
it's like an arm, leg, whatever. Anyway, it was literally everyone wanted it because it was so rare. And so I asked for like one of these specific pieces.
Right.
And it was obviously near impossible to get hold of that. You can't just buy it off the internet. It's something it's like a collectible where you buy so many, then you essentially might get one. And like I asked for it specifically, and it's like this was almost like my test to see if Santa was real or not.
Wow! Oh, you asked for something so specific. You were like pretty much only Santa.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of,
wow.
yeah. And obviously, like I think my mum back in the day just got me some set or box full of cards, and I was like, well, that's not what I asked for.
So how did you react?
No, I was so happy. I was like, oh my
anyway.
God, this is insane. Yeah, like, you're still just so happy over Christmas, but like when you look back, you're like, wait, that's not what I asked for.
See, I think I was quite. I think growing up, my parents always was so convinced I was autistic.
Oh really?
Like, yeah, just from the way that I behaved.
It's because you're too smart.
Because I was probably partly the fact that I was such a nerd and I would just study loads and like just like exams were a priority, and like I would have no problem if an exam was like 2 months away, spending my Friday night just sat at home like studying maths. Can you hear the Christmas bells, by the way? That's church bells, because we're on church grounds. Hopefully that's not too overbearing.
So what? Even when you were really young, were you just like obsessed with school and stuff?
So
no, but I'm saying like really young, where I don't know, like 6, 7.
No, but I always just had really weird traits. Like I was such a weird perfectionist. Like I used to have like if my parents gave me dinner and my like chips were like touching the ketchup, I couldn't eat the meal. Like, and that is something my parents thought was like 100% sign of autism. Like. It wasn't like I could take away the chips that had been dipped in ketchup, and they couldn't go and scrape the plate off and try it again, and it would be like, that's it, dinner's done for me. And a lot of these sound like things where I'm just like a spoiled brat or something, but like there were things where like they would make me burn up inside, and even if I was like, I know this is illogical for me to be really frustrated at the fact that my dinner's been served with ketchup touching my chips, I couldn't eat the meal for some reason. And there have just been so many things like growing up like that, where it's like I've had such weird traits that like still exist now.
What even? I guess I can see the like perfectionism.
Yeah, like honestly,
things,
if there's one frame out of place on a YouTube video now, it burns me inside, and I have to take it down and re-upload it, even if it's been up like a day. Like it honestly, like I'm so clean and tidy, like my bedroom and living room. Like when I'm not, obviously when I make a mess, but like when I'm not, everything has to be spotless.
How did you buy like specific?
Could be slight OCD. Like I don't want to self-diagnose myself here with anything, but
even like keeping your room so tidy because it's like pristine. Will you like buy specific stuff?
No.
Or is it just you like manually doing?
Yeah, things just can't be like.
Yeah.
I could never, if someone like twisted the pillow on my bed and then said work for the day at your desk with that twisted pillow, I would not be able to.
Really?
Which is so strange.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's a good trait, to be fair.
And like, just
what about if you're like editing a YouTube video? Will you watch it like so many times?
Yeah, I would watch.
All like you'll spend hours just.
My editor will send me an almost final copy, and I'll watch it through 4 or 5 times, making tweaks. Like, and it's such a waste of time. And like people were like, Chris is the exact same in terms of that. And then we've got a friend, Cal Freezy, who's the exact opposite, who like leaves it with his editor and just doesn't ever want to look at it. And he just goes, I trust that I've got a good editor. He's got a sick editor, Harry. But he's like, I don't have to look at it. Yeah. Whereas I couldn't live with myself knowing that there was a video up having not watched it.
I think I would just leave it.
You're fine. Just
definitely.
Getting the content out.
I'd rather just get it out, even if there's loads of errors.
You'll probably notice it on our TikTok, like even on the podcast TikTok, which is just clips from the podcast. Every word is spelt right. No word ever overlaps with the like button or the comment button. Like,
or you make sure of that and stuff as well.
Yeah, we've got a thing that goes like,
oh really?
To add borders where we go, you can't go over this. Like, it's
I need
perfect.
to do that.
We've taken into account the slight zoom when you upload a video. You know, it zooms a little bit.
Oh, does it?
Taking into account everything to make sure like everything is always on screen. There's never an empty space or frame with no audio. Like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if I had a trusted editor, I would just literally leave them to it. I wouldn't even. I maybe watch it through once. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll get there, but I've never had a long-term video editor.
True.
But see, so because I was like that, I to this day I don't like surprises. So if I'm dating a girl, and she goes like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'll be like, "I'd kind of like to give you a list of things I'd like," or like if she would be like, do you want me to get you a surprise party? And you wake up on your birthday and don't know what you're doing. And I go, surprise, we're playing mini golf with all our friends. I'm like, no, I'd rather know in advance because I like...
So what would you do then if that happened?
So like for my last birthday, I was seeing someone and she organised a mini golf thing with a bunch of our like YouTube friends. And we just played...
So she surprised you?
No, but she planned it in advance.
Okay. That's different. No, but I'm saying
on the day,
what would
I would obviously be polite and be like, "Thank you so much. This is sweet." And like, my logical side of my brain can consciously go, thank you, this is very sweet, I'm enjoying this. But inside I'd be like, God, I hate the fact that this is a surprise and I didn't really plan this.
Is it the fact that other people are talking about you?
No.
It's just that you haven't planned
not
for it.
knowing what's coming up. It's the not planned in advance.
Because that is really common where people do the surprise birthday thing.
Yeah, and I wouldn't like it at all.
Okay.
And
So going back to the gifts then.
So a gift is a good example. So one year I got a skateboard. So like Jersey's a real big board sports thing. Like a lot of people from the island surf, skate, and I was really into skateboarding, and board sports in general. And one year I was like, I really want a skateboard, and I told my parents what makes a good grip tape, what makes good trucks, what makes good wheels. I was like, if you want ball bearings, you need to like grab the skateboard and whip the wheel, and it should just keep spinning for ages. And it's a bad skateboard if you go like that and it stops quite quickly. So that's how you can tell, like, you gain more speed and stuff. And they bought me a skateboard, and
you could tell straight away.
And everything was good.
Yeah.
The design on it was really gothy. It was like a severed cartoon head.
Okay. Well, underneath the board.
Underneath the board, which is so irrelevant. No one even sees. And I was like, this isn't my style. I'm like a aesthetic kind of like, I'm not into this grunge. That was kind of more like a Jake Mullinsy type skateboard.
Yeah.
One of our friends. And they were like, oh, so do you want to go skate on your... And I was like, nah. And then they were like, why aren't you outside skateboarding? And I was like, I'm going to be honest, I want to take it back. And they were like, you ungrateful little... And I'm like, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about this. I can't skate on this. I wouldn't enjoy it.
I think that's like when you're younger, it's like a bit of an immaturity thing as well, where you are so specific about things. I think most kids are, like I was as well. If you don't like something, but your parents just literally can't understand why. But it just could be something as small as like a button on something, or like the way the design like fits or looks, and you just categorically can't have it.
It happened again later. I was quite a bit older. I think I was at uni, and I was telling my dad I don't really like bringing my laptop into like uni lecture halls. Like I feel like it's too distracting. I wanted an iPad mini. And I was like, can you get me an iPad mini in white, please? And I had my idea of this for ages.
You got it in black.
I opened this iPad mini, which makes me sound so spoiled. Like, iPad mini is like very expensive, like one of the best gifts you could possibly ask for. And it was black. And I was like, oh this is so sick. Thank you so much, Dad. Because I wanted it in white. I was like, this is so nice. And I was like, he was like, oh, go open it up. And I was like, oh no! Because I knew once I opened it up, I wouldn't be able to swap it. But at that point, I was like old enough where I was like, I'd spoken to my parents, and they were like, "This is an autistic tendency you have." And I don't know whether it was
they were so massively. They were so pissed you didn't like it. They're like, he's autistic. Yeah. We haven't researched or done anything. We just go,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this guy's got problems.
And I could feel it bubbling up inside me, but I was like, I'm going to make myself open this and enjoy it and accept the fact that it's a black one. And I loved that iPad mini, and like going back, I used it all the time. So after I'd gotten over it, the problem was that I expected the white one and I got the black one.
Yeah, so it was the
surprise element. And it was the unexpected surprise element, which my brain evidently, like still to this day, just doesn't like. Yeah. And even though I can go like, I'm an adult, I can deal with these emotions, I can be grateful, I can be thankful, it doesn't affect the fact that still as an adult now, like a guy in his mid-20s, I'm still like burning up inside if there's a surprise that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And so basically I ended up learning after the year that I got the skateboard, because the next year I made a vlog of me going into SDS, which is Jersey's surf dive ski shop.
Yeah. What do you mean you made it into a vlog?
I made a vlog. I was like, all right, Mum, Dad, this is the present I want. Here it is. And I walked in and I looked at the surfboard, and I remember, and I was like, this is the one I want. It's 6-inch. It's Matt King. It's got this pattern on it.
Yeah.
This is the one I want, so that they could watch that video and walk in and go, that's the one he wanted, rather than going in being like, oh, he wanted a surfboard. Let's get him one of like, you know.
And then they fulfilled
and they got it, thankfully. Yeah. But, I mean,
so you have to be that specific about it.
But now this year, like, for example, this year, obviously we're adults now, like we can afford our own gifts, so we don't ask for much. I gave them the book that I wanted. I gave them the title. I was like, oh, this year we all sort of do a Secret Santa where we sort of write a bunch of gift ideas. And rather than writing a list of a bunch of things and like ideas, I just go, I would love to get this book.
Oh, so you all have a specific person assigned?
Yeah,
to give it a gift because there's so many.
Because there's 8 of us, yeah.
Okay,
rather than
sense.
spending like £10 or £5 and spending 80 quid in total, which the young ones can't do.
Yeah.
We now just buy one
Secret
gift for
Santa.
everyone, and obviously if we're the older ones, we can spend a bit more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, I want this specific book, this title, this thing.
So you don't even give them options anymore.
Funnily enough, from last year. So last year I was like, I want a chess book. I want some theoretical opening principles thing. I wanted a book that would teach me an opening theory. And my dad gave me these books that were stories of like, they were autobiographies of chess players.
To be fair, that's a bit of a no.
I was like, it was sick. To be fair, they were 2 of my favourite chess players. It was Kasparov and Fischer, Bobby Fischer, like 2 of the greatest chess players ever. But I was like, although these are good, these aren't going to make my opening theory repertoire any better.
But I mean, it must be interesting, like reading into their way of thinking.
So I liked it, but on the day, I was like, thank you. This is great. I enjoyed it. On the day, I was like, right, well, I still don't have any opening theory books.
Yeah.
So this year, when I got asked for presents, I wrote the title, an author, and year of the book, and put a link to it.
Fair.
And thankfully...
That specificity.
Hopefully,
is
that's.
Yeah.
Watch me.
Well,
now.
we'll find out next
Watch
episode.
me now. I'll put it on the Instagram story. Whether I get the book I asked for, or whether they get me a random chess book.
So that, I mean,
but
I
isn't
don't
that
know.
so weird?
The thing is, I am the same. Where I know what I like, I'll like have specific things I want and things like that. But I still want a few surprises in there. It makes Christmas a little bit more special.
I don't mind the smaller surprises.
If you knew everything that you were getting that particular day, I guess the surprise for you is that you don't know whether you're getting it or not. But if you, you know what I mean? But if you are getting it, then it's a good thing.
It's the best day.
That's
like, the worst day.
Exactly.
That probably makes it worse.
But I still think it's nice to have gifts where you're like, oh, I didn't expect this. This is really nice.
I like stocking fillers for that reason, because there's no expectation. So like some years I'll get like a Rubik's Cube and I'm like, I didn't ask for that. I wasn't expecting that, but I wasn't expecting something else in its place. So I'm really happy to get small stocking fillers. So when everyone else gives me small items, like when family friends or my family get me small items, I love all of them. It tends to just be the main present.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So yeah, it definitely is to do with expectation, because I do remember one year my mum got, again, my parents were always so good with presents, like they would do so much for us. My brother got an Xbox 360 and I got a Nintendo Wii.
Wait, what?
And I was like, I'm the older brother.
Yeah.
Like I should be getting the one that I can play like Grand Theft Auto and Halo and FIFA on. And my brother should be playing Wii Sports Resort. And I was like, I felt like I got the younger kids present.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't, like, because I wasn't expecting something. Like if I'd been expecting an Xbox, I would have been gutted.
But the thing
because
is,
I wasn't expecting anything, I was like, oh, I've got a bonus Wii. And although I was a bit like, oh, I kind of wish I had the Xbox, I just didn't care. And I was like buzzing anyway.
But were you living in the same household?
Yeah.
Because if you're obviously not going to get 2 Xboxes.
I don't know, why not? 2 different bedrooms.
Yeah, but
like my brother's playing Halo in his room.
Thing is,
like,
we would always we'd have like the game console in one specific place. So like we were never allowed TVs in our room.
Oh, that is quite clever.
Yeah, it was just Is
that why you suck so much at like FIFA and COD? Is that what we play?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
So that kind of put me off, but yeah, we just never allowed TVs in our room. So.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, interesting. A slight insight into the weird workings of my mind as well, that I guess people wouldn't know. Hopefully people don't judge me too badly on any of that. But maybe it'd be interesting to try and get some sort of diagnosis on whether there's any kind of neurodivergency there, or whether there's anything just unusual for me in terms of like the expectation thing.
I think
just the fact that it hasn't gone away. Do you think I'm slightly?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But in a good way, like utilize it to your advantage.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because
I
you
guess
wouldn't want
everything's a spectrum as well, isn't it? Like,
exactly.
I did get I did do a DNA test for Circle DNA, and I did get some weird results.
Like what?
I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Anyway.
This is not a sponsored video.
So no, it's not. I did do a short with them. Go check it out if you want to look. So yeah, I think the final thing we're going to do is a fun little Christmas quiz to finish on.
Yeah. And
then we'll have a nice little outro chat. So if you want to get your pens and papers at the ready, or your notes app, or whatever it is, or you can just answer in your head and see what you think. So we're going to do a mini Christmas quiz. Some of it will be based on some history, some fun facts, some, just anything. So okay. I think we might have answered some of them in the pod so far. But what country started the tradition of Christmas trees? Do you know this one?
I swear we said...
I think we already said this.
It was during the Renaissance.
Oh, yeah. In
Germany.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So the Germans started the Christmas tree tradition. Interesting. So what is the current top 40 number one? Stop looking at the screen.
Current top
I think
40.
I actually just said that as well.
I literally haven't seen it. I'm being genuine.
But we spoke about that in
honestly
the top 40.
You said it was Mariah Carey.
It is. It's Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Whether she'll get sidelined by Sidemen or Lad Baby, we'll have to wait and see.
Lad Baby seems to be the consistent theme.
So what do you think is the best-selling Christmas song of all time?
It's got to be the Wham.
Which is what? Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. It's not.
Mariah Carey.
No, I thought it would be that one, but it isn't. It's a bit of a Christmas classic.
Is it a song?
It's a real classic Christmas song. Maybe it's in this kind of like, you know, our parents when they were kids would have listened to it on the radio.
But did we mention it? Did we speak about it?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
So it's not a Christmas carol, but it's a. Give me some standard Christmas songs where you're like, it's not like a pop band wrote a song.
Okay.
It's the kind of like.
Oh, it's like the rhyme, like that kind of thing, like yeah, I don't know.
Like let it snow, let it snow, let it
yeah,
snow.
like that, or
something like that.
Feliz Navidad.
No. So that's a bit of a band one.
So wait, what? This is.
Should I just tell you?
Yeah.
CSTD. So the best-selling Christmas song of all time, and one that some people think is the best-selling song of all time, is "White Christmas" by Bing Crosby.
How's that go?
Bing Crosby. I'm dreaming
Oh
of a
yeah,
white
that makes sense.
Christmas.
That makes sense.
With every Christmas card I write. Anyway, we've done this one as well. But what country was Saint Nick from? So I didn't know this one either.
Norway.
No, he was born in a place in Asia. Can you remember this? We've just covered it. Saint Nick, the guy who was famous for
Japan.
No,
I don't know.
Turkey.
Oh, really?
What is now Turkey, and he was ethnically Greek. You know the Grinch? So I found out this the other day. Have you guys seen The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the 2000 film, Jim Carrey? You know his dog Max? Max.
Mm-hmm.
Who he dresses up as a reindeer on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's unusual about the dog Max? Have a guess.
He dresses up as a reindeer?
He does, but what's unusual about that actor dog that plays Max?
Speaks foreign language?
No. What are you waffling about? He speaks a foreign... No. It's a dog.
Secretly a cat?
Secretly something. Not a cat.
Secretly the same person, Jim Carrey?
No. Be serious. Be for real.
I genuinely have no idea.
It's a female dog. The dog's name is Shelley.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when he's going Max and it's like a little boy, it looks like a boy dog. It isn't Max. It's played by a female dog. It's interesting.
I mean, I was never going to get that.
This one we interestingly already covered. I say interestingly because I hope it's interesting. But how deep to the closest foot was the lake Colin Firth and Lucia Moniz jumped into in France?
Oh, yeah, you said
actually.
You said like 10 foot or something.
What? 2 foot? The whole point was that they were on their knees pretending to drown.
2 foot.
But it was 18 inches, so 1 or 2 feet. But we round up.
20 inches.
Astronauts broadcast which Christmas song from space in 1965?
Last Christmas.
No. That probably wasn't even out in 1965.
All I Want Is Christmas Is You.
No, that definitely wasn't out in 1965. The year
Let
my
It
dad
Snow.
was born. Jingle bells.
Jingle bells.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
jingle bells. Interesting. Doing which Christmas activity sends roughly 14,700 Americans to A&E every year?
Prepping mince pies.
No.
Oh, the Christmas crackers.
No.
Punching yourself in the eye.
Interesting. That would be I'm curious how many people. Yeah.
Injured themselves.
Or bang and it lights gas.
Oh,
and
yeah,
explodes
true,
or
yeah.
something.
It's got to be cooking related. Making the turkey.
It's actually not cooking related.
Okay. Playing in the snow. Hypothermia.
No. Good example. Good on that. I probably would have guessed that as well. Not skiing or any kind of like
skiing,
winter activity.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
How would you perhaps fall and injure yourself?
During Christmas?
Yeah. What would you
I
be
guess
doing
for
on
me.
a ladder?
Oh, putting up the ferry.
Putting up the ferry.
Yeah,
Just
on top of the
putting
Christmas.
up Christmas decorations in general.
Yeah.
So decorating tall Christmas trees, putting Christmas lights up on your roof, 14,700 Americans on average go to A&E.
They must have
year.
some big Christmas trees.
I know. Oh, in America. American houses are so much bigger than our ones here. Mistletoe. Do you know what the word mistletoe means?
I know what it's used for.
What's it used for?
It's to romanticize everyone's...
Pack up and kiss it. Go on.
Where it originates from? It originates from...
What does the word mean?
The word means mistletoe. It means...
What would you think? I would think Christmas herb or kissing leaf or something.
Mistletoe means...
Why are you saying means? Like you know what it means.
Mistletoe, that means... I don't know. Yeah, what as in a direct translation?
Yeah,
of what
direct
it means?
translation.
In what language? Just traditionally.
Anglo-Saxon.
It means kiss feet.
Kiss feet.
Yeah.
Bro's whipping out his fetishes. Going back to where did feet come from?
Toe.
Oh, fair. I did not. I thought that was coming from missile for some
Obviously,
reason.
it's evolved over the years to then like kissing on
Kiss
the
your
lips.
feet.
But like, I
Oh
was
yeah, I
saying
guess
kiss your
kiss
feet
the feet
or
of a
kiss
king
them.
or something.
Yeah.
No, interesting. It means dung on a stick.
Dung.
Dung.
On a stick.
Like poop.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's weird. Stop looking at the screen. I feel like you're going to look at the answer.
I'm not.
Oh, so this
I
one.
haven't got any right.
Let's see how good your memory is, because you know the answer. According to the folklore of Austria, what horned figure punishes naughty children at Christmas time? Oh. Come on, you guys are listening as well. If you're not Austrian, we spoke about this at the start of the pod.
I do remember. The Ashtenstein or something. The Hornusby.
He's horny. No, he's horned, sorry.
Oh yeah, I know what he looks like, but what's the...
I'll give you the... I'll give... No, stop scrolling. Stop the count.
Stop the cat.
The festival is called something Nacht.
Yeah,
so it's the
remember.
devil's name Nacht.
Yeah, I can't remember. Hornagat.
It begins with K.
Oh, Kernabiak.
Karabias. No. Nacht.
Oh, Krasaya. Oh, Krampus Nacht. What is it?
Krampus Nacht.
Oh, Krampus, yeah.
Yeah, it's Krampus.
Yeah.
So they do this Krampus. This is weird because I actually haven't seen the answer to this yet. I wrote the question and got our Christmas elf to help us figure this one out. What is eggnog? It's such an American thing. You guys.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
You Americans.
It's like
they drink it out of a carton.
No, eggnog
I think
is like...
they get drunk on it.
Eggnog? No, I thought it was like... Oh no, I'm thinking of eggplant.
Oh yeah, eggplant's just just a word for an aubergine.
Yeah.
But no, they have eggnog, which is like a Christmassy drink. For some reason, they only drink it at Christmas. I think it's alcoholic. We're about to find out. But, I mean, there's got to be egg in it, right?
I don't think so.
You think no egg? What about nog?
I think it's an aubergine milkshake.
You're high. Are you actually being serious? What do you actually think eggnog is? I'm guessing egg, milk.
Do you think? What, like a Bailey kind of thing?
It'll be whisked egg whites or something, milk, and what?
Whisked egg whites
and whiskey or
whiskey,
something.
Yeah.
Whiskey, yeah. Okay, so
and cream.
Ah, wow! Did you just see that?
No, genuinely.
So it's milk, cream, sugar, egg yolk, egg white. So we've got the egg, milk. You added the cream, sugar makes sense.
What's the alcohol?
And it's distilled with different spirits, one of which is whiskey, one of which is bourbon, which we're drinking here, whiskey bourbon, or brandy or rum. So that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they don't cook it because it doesn't get like...
Nah, it would just be...
So,
yeah, true.
You got salmonella?
Raw egg whites, pretty grim.
Raw egg white. Because you can't really eat much cookie though, because in case it... Well... Maybe it's safe.
Maybe they do boil it.
You don't get salmonella in chickens in the UK anymore.
Really?
You can't get salmonella from chicken. They're all vaccinated against salmonella now.
You can eat them raw?
You can eat raw chicken without getting salmonella.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what else might come with it. But yeah. And it's often served with a cinnamon or nutmeg dusting.
That sounds nice.
I don't even know what nutmeg is.
Do you know?
I hear about do you know what nutmeg is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a spice. It's like, it's rock solid.
Is it?
And then you can like shave it on top probably.
Interesting. So this one's interesting. This blew my mind. Stop.
I'm not.
Look at my screen. The official record for the tallest ever snowman is held in the U.S. town of Bethel, Maine. Kind of nice. It sounds like Bethlehem. To the nearest 10 feet, how tall was it? Bear in mind, you're what?
40 feet.
So that's, what, three or so of you?
No.
Wait, what am I talking about?
Way more.
It's 6 foot.
Yeah, six foot times 7 or something.
Yeah, 7 or 8 times you.
Yeah.
That's tall.
Yeah.
That's very tall. Be serious.
Yeah, 40.
40 foot taller.
Taller?
Yeah.
Why did you try and make me say that? What?
Be for real.
Come on,
Taller.
be for real. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll exaggerate and say 40.
Nah, go on. Guess again.
60.
I'm curious what these guys are thinking. Taller. 60 foot is 10 of you.
You just want the dramatic suspense.
Yeah, I do. There's content.
If I said 200 feet. Wait, hang about. 200 feet.
No, be for real. Be serious, you douche.
70.
I'll just give it to you now. It's 120 foot.
Wow.
Which is insane.
So that is 20 of me.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Kind of. You're taller than 6 foot, so
Yeah.
maybe like 18. So a standard, it's about a 10-story building, 8 or 9-story building according to Google.
That's crazy. So and then it's in the US.
Yeah. So that is insanely big. Very impressive. Congrats to those of you in the town of US Bethel in Maine. And last one, yet another Scandinavian one. Fact: the Swedes traditionally celebrate Christmas Eve by watching what famous cartoon?
Looney Tunes.
Close. He's a Looney Tunes character.
Bugs Bunny.
No.
Mickey Mouse.
No, his enemy. Not Mickey Mouse's enemy.
Bugs Bunny's enemy.
Yeah, or friend. I don't know. He's one of the
I
two.
don't know.
Have you seen Space Jam?
Tom and Jerry.
No, not Tom and Jerry.
I don't know.
He's an individual. Keep guessing.
Why?
Go through all the Looney Tunes characters
I can't even remember all the Looney Tunes characters.
So Bugs Bunny goes, yeah, what's up, Doc?
Yeah. So it's the duck.
Yeah, which duck?
What's his name?
It alliterates.
Quackers.
No, it alliterates with duck.
Oh, duck.
Come on. You guys at home must be screaming at the TV right now, whatever you're listening to. Screaming at your AirPods. Sat on his feet. Come on, Freddie! It's like, I feel like I'm the narrator in one of those pantomime things where they've got puppets.
He's behind you.
He's behind you. Come on, D-Duck.
This is actually annoying me now. Quackers.
Stop. It begins with a D.
Oh, Donald Duck.
Did you see it?
No, I genuinely didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It's Donald Duck. Wait, I think I was thinking of Daffy Duck. I was thinking of Daffy Duck.
Oh, really?
He's the one in Space Jam, not Donald Duck. I didn't realise that too.
Wait, what? You didn't?
So
you never heard of Donald Duck?
Well,
serious?
No,
man?
I did. I have heard it. Yeah, so Daffy Duck is the black one and Donald Duck is the white one. So yeah, the Swedes watch Donald Duck for some reason on Christmas Eve. But
All right.
yeah, let us know your own personal traditions, your Christmas traditions from your country, the ones your family get involved in. I love Christmases. I think it's probably up there with my favourite times of year.
I'm feeling more festive now.
Peak summer, but this has made me feel hella festive.
Yeah, hella.
For those of you who are listening on audio only, we're sat here in Christmas jumpers, Santa hats, nursing whiskey. There's Christmas bells in the background.
I'm staring at a Christmas tree.
There's a Christmas tree because we're doing it in my living room. My living room. My living room. That sounds like the room is living.
Yeah.
No, but I'm a big fan of Christmas.
Me too.
And we've actually, I think it was one of the first things we spoke about was doing a Christmas special. The idea of just having a few drinks.
I've loved it.
Chatting about Christmas. I got to say, I think we've fallen into a much more natural state of like chatting on the podcast compared with how we were in the first few episodes. We were so formal first few episodes.
The camera crew around us, the massive studio.
We're just in a room by ourselves.
No.
But no,
people.
I think it's nice. It feels a lot more natural, and I'm so looking forward to season 2. I think
I can't wait. I can't wait to be living with you as well. Hopefully,
okay.
End of this year.
Maybe.
Sounds sus.
Just separate rooms, we'll go straight bed. But
I can't wait to live in the 1-bedroom flat again.
Single bed, bunk bed.
Studio.
No, but season 2, where obviously Chris was supposed to be here with us today. Oh, Chris MD, and ditched us for the lakes.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be, but we'll get him on to waffle about some interesting topic to him.
Well, that kind of leads us on as well to the next season, where we are looking to get more guests on. Obviously, we kind of finished this series with Jack, the Redditor, which we love.
The Redditor.
Is that not his
Redditor.
name? Okay. The Redditor.
You said the Little Mix in the last episode, you know. It was such a boom moment. You're like, oh yeah, she's part of the Little Mix.
No, part of the Little Mix, yeah.
I think they're just part of Little Mix.
No, part of, like, separate word, the Little Mix.
Oh, okay.
That's how you'd
enough.
say it, yeah.
Anyway, go on.
He's part of the Redditor community.
Keep your emotional speech trolling whilst we creak these chairs like an old...
Yeah, but anyway, we really enjoyed that, and I think, the next season will be kind of more focused, less on the informative stuff, more on, like, getting guests on board, having kind of this relaxed setting, a new studio in this next season, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, because the one with Redditor was very conversational.
Did you just say the Redditor?
No, but yeah, so much exciting stuff to look forward to, and just like to tie it in, like, we're both relatively small in terms of social media followings. These episodes are long, they've gone for a while. I find them very interesting, and I'm hoping you guys too. But I just want to say, like, end of the year, given Christmas is a time of, like, giving, being appreciative of what you've got. Just want to say thanks for everyone who's been tuning in, following us on the socials, enjoying the clips, enjoying the episodes, getting involved in the comments, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel. Like, we really appreciate all of it. The fact that you guys have sort of given such long content a chance to be like, wow, I actually do enjoy this. And obviously you've got this far, so you're listening to the end. So yeah, we really appreciate it. And there's a surprising, that the percentage of you that listen to the end of these very long podcasts is really high. We're really grateful for it. We really appreciate all of you. We read pretty much every message you send us, every comment you write on YouTube, we respond to. Those of you who just listen on Spotify and don't really interact with or Apple Podcasts, we appreciate you just as much. So thanks for everything so far, and hopefully we can keep you guys entertained. Season 2, like Fred said, there's going to be a lot of guests, but we'll keep adding a lot of value in terms of, like, informative stuff on the content we do. Let us know who you want us to bring on, what you want to see. But just thank you very much, and have a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you very much. See you in the next episode in the new year.
Bye for now.